Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey there, sinners and saints. It's your favorite Bible-bashing duo from Sacrilegious Discourse, and we need your help.
That's right, folks. We're raising funds for some heavenly equipment and a studio that doesn't sound like it's in the depths of hell.
Our current setup, let's just say it's more apocalypse than audiophile.
So if you want to hear us dissect the Bible without the background noise of demonic squirrels, chip in a few bucks.
We're aiming for $5,000 to upgrade our audio and build a studio worthy of blasphemous banter.
Donate today and help us spread the good word of atheism.
You can find a link right on our homepage, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. Every dollar counts.
Even if it's from your collection plate. Husband.
Wife.
Okay, I got it out that time. I tried to call your name and it came out
kind of like,
husband. Which, I mean, that kind of tracks because my...
Your voice has been kind of wonky lately.
Yeah, my throat is
your
still...
recent sicknesses.
Yeah.
And for those of you who didn't join our special episode that we put out yesterday, Wife is back, and sorry for the absence.
Yeah, I had a running fever of between 99 and 102 point something degrees for about 4 days, and my throat was so painful that I was crying, and
it was bad. It was terrible.
Swelled closed.
It was all the bad.
I had to go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
It was painful and horrible, and I'm back. And so, yay. And so that is why my voice went, husband. So, anyway, do you know what we're doing today?
Well, so it was last week at this point, but the last time we were doing a episode about the Bible, it was... oh shit! What book are we in? We're in Ezekiel. Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I knew what chapter, but I couldn't remember what book. We're in Ezekiel. We were reading Ezekiel chapter 30.
Yes, that is correct.
And in that chapter,
God, do tell me what happened because I really don't remember.
Well, it was like the second part of a two-part thing where God was chastising Egypt for not doing things correctly, I guess. So anyway, that was and then the prophecy just it was going to be wrong because God was like, this is going to happen for like 40 years. You're going to be dispersed for like 40 years and y'all are going to be torn apart and scattered and all the wonderful shit, right? But the thing is that in history, during the time that Nebuchadnezzar was fighting them, they never fully conquered them. And so therefore the prophecy in the Bible is wrong.
It's wrong.
So that's what happened. God was wrong last time.
God was mistaken.
That's what went on.
Or Ezekiel was mistaken and was a false prophet.
I mean, yeah, either way.
If we're going to pretend that God is real, he was mistaken. Knowing that God isn't real, that means that Ezekiel is a false prophet and a liar.
One way or the other, something in the Bible is not right.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
So that happened.
So that was Ezekiel chapter 30.
Yes, it was.
Which means that today we're getting into...
Ezekiel chapter 31.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, we are jumping into Ezekiel chapter 31.
All right.
And it starts out like this because you said it was a part 2 last week or last time.
So this is
a part 3.
Okay, well, I didn't know that yet.
We're still hollering at Egypt.
Got it. Okay. All right.
In the 11th year, in the 3rd month, on the first day, the word of the Lord came to me. Okay. Okay, and I got a date for you.
Came to Ezekiel.
Me, Ezekiel. Yeah, not me, wife.
Right.
I got a date for you.
Okay.
This corresponds to around June 19th to the 21st in 587 BCE.
Okay.
A month before Jerusalem was taken by the Chaldeans.
Got it. All right. Yep.
So this is what God says. Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Son of man.
You mere human.
You fucking worm. Say to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and to his hordes, who can be compared with you in majesty? Because, you're awesome, right?
Right.
Right? Love you, Egypt. You're so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Consider Assyria, once a cedar in Lebanon with beautiful branches overshadowing the forest. It towered on high, its top above the thick foliage. The waters nourished it. Deep springs made it grow tall. Their streams flowed all around its base and sent their channels to all the trees of the field. So it towered higher than all the trees of the field.
We're talking about Assyria right now, right?
Yes.
That's okay. Just making sure.
Yes.
I just wanted to verify.
Yeah. I actually have kind of a note about that. It's not a big deal, but this is less a geographical note because he's like saying, consider Assyria that was in Lebanon, right? It was a tree in Lebanon.
Sure.
The reference to Lebanon is actually a metaphor, not a locational statement.
Okay.
Because Assyria was a superpower which fell into the hands of the Babylonians, and their influence in the region, of course, now had waned.
Yeah.
And he's talking about this tree, this beautiful tall tree that eventually fell.
Which is Assyria.
And so he's saying you're going to follow
next.
this. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So that's what he's saying. You're so awesome. You're also a beautiful tree, just like Assyria. And guess what happened to them?
Yeah.
So that's what this is.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So he's talking about this great tree that towered high. Its boughs increased and its branches grew long, spreading because of abundant waters. All the birds of the sky nested in its boughs. All the animals of the wild gave birth under its branches. That is a lot of placenta under one fucking tree.
Yeah, it seems like that might be a little gross after a while with all that afterbirth and everything else to be just sitting around.
I'm going to say that didn't happen because that's kind of grody. All the great nations lived in its shade. Oh, the metaphorical tree. Okay.
All the great nations, huh?
Yeah, because...
So wait, but this was Assyria, so, I mean, like, he's using Assyria as a metaphor as to what's going to happen to Egypt. So all the great nations lived in its shade. He's saying even, Jerusalem and Israel and all that lived in the shade of Assyria because they were, the greatest... I don't understand. Like,
he's talking about how great a nation, how large and powerful.
Okay, all right.
And that... they controlled the area. And so trade kind of happened because of them.
Got it. And then even they fell.
Yeah.
And you better watch out now, Egypt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because right now Egypt is the great power.
I feel like them giving this extra emphasis to how powerful Assyria was kind of diminishes the importance of, Jerusalem and Israel in some regards.
Yes and no, because Assyria was a huge nation.
Sure.
Huge. Whereas, Jerusalem was the city, the capital city of Judah.
Right.
And Judah was a very small area, comparatively speaking.
No, you're absolutely right.
We're talking about an empire versus a small little kingdom.
Right. I guess I'm more speaking to the idea that God's influence did not make Jerusalem as powerful as some of these other people, right? Like, it's not a matter of whether or not they were or weren't, right?
Sure.
It's a matter of this God apparently doesn't have the power to make his own people the most powerful people, right?
Yeah.
That's where I'm like,
and that when they moved,
this is weird.
When they moved into the area, it was supposed to be their promised land, and they were supposed to wipe out all the people who lived there.
Yeah.
Which some Assyrians did.
Right.
And so it's like, wow, you guys are totally small compared to this huge empire, and you did not stand up well against her.
Right. That's
I see
all
what
I
you're
was
saying.
commenting on.
No, I see what you're saying. I'm looking at it more from the
matter of fact, this is the way things were.
The lyrical part of it too, though, the metaphorical part of it, not the how it actually was.
Right. No, I got it. I guess it was just the matter that this is God speaking about, this other nation as great. And that part to me is interesting insofar as they're not God's people. So that alone, admitting the greatness of this other nation or any other nation is a little bit odd.
It is interesting that he can recognize greatness in anybody but himself.
Yeah, no, I'm
for 2 seconds
right now in this
only
time
as it
and place.
suits him,
right.
Only because it's convenient to do so.
Yeah,
because he's like, they're so great and they died. Like, wow. Okay, thanks for that. All the great nations lived in its shade. It was majestic in beauty with its spreading boughs, for its roots went down to abundant waters. The cedars in the garden of God could not rival it, nor could the junipers equal its boughs, nor could the plane trees compare with its branches. No tree in the garden of God could match its beauty.
Wow.
The garden of God is another term for Garden of Eden.
Sure.
FYI.
But that's again.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is God admitting somebody is greater. Mm-hmm. I understand that it's a metaphor to say that this great thing is going to fall.
But that is very complimentary, even in a metaphor.
Yeah, but to admit that as you didn't have the best, you weren't the best. I don't. It's interesting to me.
It is.
This is interesting to me.
It is. I made it beautiful. Oh, I made it. Okay.
Okay.
I take it all back.
Fuck you, God.
He's not saying that they're God. I made it.
Right.
Don't forget, I made everything.
He made everything. Yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. My bad.
I made it everything, but
he didn't give his garden or his people the most beautiful or powerful things.
Clearly.
So.
Because Assyria got it.
Yeah.
So how'd that work out?
Well, fuck you, Jerusalem.
Right? I made it beautiful with abundant branches, the envy of all the trees of Eden in the garden of God.
I'm still kind of blown away at the wording.
This was my favorite tree, and I didn't give it to you.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm sorry, I read that all wrong.
Did you? Okay.
I did.
Yeah.
Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Because the great cedar towered over the thick foliage, and because it was proud of its height, I gave it into the hands of the rulers of the nations, for him to deal with according to its wickedness. I cast it aside, and the most ruthless of foreign nations cut it down and left it. Its boughs fell on the mountains and in the valleys. Its branches lay broken in all the ravines of the land. All the nations of the earth came out from under its shade and left it. All the birds settled on the fallen tree, and all the wild animals lived among its branches. Okay. Therefore, no other trees by the waters are ever to tower proudly on high, lifting their tops above the thick foliage. No other trees so well watered are ever to reach such a height. They are all destined for death, for the earth below, among mortals who go down to the realm of the dead.
Okay.
Dead.
Yeah.
Dead. This is what the sovereign Lord says.
Okay. I thought he was already saying stuff.
He says, I said, he said.
Right, yeah.
Remember we talked about this. He's the OG Foghorn Leghorn?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
He is.
So on the day it was brought down to the realm of the dead, I covered the deep springs with mourning for it. I held back its streams, and its abundant waters were restrained. Because of it, I clothed Lebanon with gloom, and all the trees of the field withered away.
Okay.
I made the nations tremble at the sound of its fall when I brought it down to the realm of the dead to be with those who go down to the pit. Then all the trees of Eden, the choicest and best of Lebanon, the well-watered trees were consoled in the earth below. This is getting into some, talking about Hades or whatever bullshit.
Yeah, it's a little interesting.
Yeah.
For sure.
They, too, like the great cedar, had gone down to the realm of the dead, to those killed by the sword, along with the armed men who lived in its shade among the nations. Which of the trees of Eden can be compared with you in splendor and majesty? Yet you, too, will be brought down with the trees of Eden to the earth below.
So he's referencing here Egypt, right? Right at the end? Mm-hmm. And he's saying even Egypt is more beautiful and wonderful than the trees in Eden. And it's more powerful and more great, right?
I made it so so awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't give it to you.
If we let him take credit, he's going to take credit for it. Yeah, sure.
I made this awesome thing that I didn't give to you.
But there's like multiple lands that are more beautiful and wonderful and great than his lands that he cared about, apparently.
That's interesting.
It is really different than what I expected to hear.
Right.
I don't really expect the Bible or anybody in the religious realm or anything like that to admit that maybe God didn't make the most beautiful things for his people.
Right.
Generally, when I hear people talk about God, the people that worship God get all the wonderful
They get
best
all the
things,
glories and all the pretties and all the bestest.
Yeah.
The strongest, the fastest.
Right.
The ones that can fly across the sky and see 1,000 eyes.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, we got some dicks up in here.
Oh, no, not dicks.
Yes, ready? Yet you too will be brought down with the trees of Eden to the earth below. You will lie among the uncircumcised.
Okay.
With those killed by the sword.
So, like, was hell originally for people who didn't get circumcised?
Probably.
Okay.
I guess. Right. I don't know. I think
it's like, oh shit, your parents didn't circumcise you either, man? Sucks, doesn't it?
Right?
We're down here in hell now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I just think these people were way too concerned with wieners.
Oh, they absolutely were.
And vag, I mean.
Right.
They were just
all the way around private parts. They thought way too much about that shit with regard to their God and whatever that fucking thing represented.
I mean, clearly they thought about it regularly enough to include God in the talks about dicks and vaginas.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't that they brought God to the dicks and vaginas. They brought the dicks and vaginas that already were in conversation to God. Like, that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, last sentence here. Uncircumcised, we're all gonna die with uncircumcised dicks.
Yeah.
This is Pharaoh and all his hordes, declares the sovereign Lord. The end.
This is Pharaoh and all of his hordes?
Yeah, so he's saying this is what's gonna... I'm talking about...
Oh, this is... Okay.
The uncircumcised peeps
I know I was talking about Assyria the whole time, but that right there, that's Egypt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get them...
Specifically.
Uncircumcised fucks right there.
Yeah, and the big-dicked uncircumcised fucks.
That's right. Yeah. I forgot they said that too.
Yeah.
Yep. That's good shit.
You know those Egyptians with the big dicks?
I mean...
According to the Bible.
I mean...
I'm not trying to stereotype nobody.
We don't want to take this out of context or anything. I mean, that's just the Bible saying that shit.
I don't know what kind of dicks Egyptians have. I assume that they're just normal like everybody else's dicks.
To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not entirely certain that I've ever met an Egyptian.
I don't know that
I probably have passed one or been near one, but I don't know that I actually know that I've interacted with somebody who grew up in Egypt.
I worked at a place that was like kind of inner city. And so I saw a lot of people of different ethnicities. Mm-hmm. And I could not tell you what all the ethnicities were. There were a lot of brown and black people. And so maybe some of them were, I know one couple and their little boy was from Pakistan, and there was another guy who I know he was a Muslim, but I don't know what country he was from.
Got it.
And, it was just one of those things where I met people from all over and didn't really...
Do you think it would be inappropriate if... I just carried around a ruler in case I met an Egyptian just to make sure that the biblical claims are true.
I mean, this was thousands of years ago. Their dicks might have shrunk since then.
But, I mean, God probably cursed them or something, yeah. So
I don't know.
So something happened probably.
Who could know?
I don't know.
We're not in the New Testament yet.
I'm just having fun with it,
Everything could change when we get to the new...
uncircumcised, now in hell Egyptians. That's what's happening.
I just want to apologize up front right now. I guess it's not up front because we already joked about it. Yeah. I just want to apologize to anybody who is of Egyptian ethnicity or background or culture.
We love you.
Yeah, I just want you to understand that I am not making fun of you.
No.
Or your culture or your history. I am making fun of the Bible, and it's really weird phrasing.
It really
is. And it's depiction of your ancestors.
Yeah, to be fair, it could have been any culture that he would have said that about, and we would have said the same fucking shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with Egyptians or anything.
No, I just feel like it should be stated out loud that I apologize if our jesting and banter hurt you. That was not our intention. We are trying to make fun of the Bible.
No, we tend to just go off on whatever's on our goddamn minds. So,
so to speak. All right. Well, that's all I have for today.
All right. Well, that was Ezekiel chapter 31.
Sure as fuck was.
We are so excited to be back on the job with our podcast here and happy to be back with you all.
Yes.
Which means that we'll be back. Actually, we're going to be back later today because we're trying to get back on track with the 5 per week. And we did a special episode yesterday with the Louisiana
10 Commandments in the school.
Yeah. If you didn't listen to the episode, go back and listen to it.
Highly recommend because it's basically like a Patreon episode, but it's available for everybody.
Yeah, and also for those of you who don't know, I have recently started a Substack for our podcast. So that's basically like a newsletter. And about once a week, maybe twice a week, depending on what's going on, I'm going to be sending a Substack out to everybody with just updates or something that I want to write about or whatever strikes my fancy pretty much. But it will include updates about the podcast and different things like that. So head over to our website at sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. If you go to, I think, the bottom of the page, there's a subscribe thing to our newsletter. You can click on that and subscribe, or any of the blog posts has it in the top right corner also. So just click over there somewhere and subscribe, and we'll see you guys there. I think, did I already say we're going to be back tomorrow or later today?
Yes.
With
Ezekiel, or Ezekiel, as I like to say, chapter 32.
All right. We'll see you then.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember what happened yesterday and how the hell we got here today?
Well, yesterday we read Ezekiel chapter 31.
We did.
And in that chapter, God was, he was chastising the Egyptians by calling out Assyria. He was like, hey, Assyria over there? They're fucking awesome. And you know what happened to them? I fucking killed them.
And you're just like them.
Yeah, and you're just like them. You're so awesome, and I'm gonna fucking kill you too.
And guess what happened?
He didn't kill them.
Exactly.
He lied.
Exactly.
He got it wrong.
He
messed up. God was wrong.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a prophecy. We're in the prophecy, and he's prophesying wrong. So that's what's happening.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, that was Ezekiel chapter 31.
It was.
Which means that today we're getting into
Ezekiel chapter 32.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, we are hopping into Ezekiel chapter 32.
Or Ezekiel.
No.
I'm just, I'm throwing it out there, just making sure we got it right.
Ezekiel. This is the last of Ezekiel's prophecies against Egypt.
Good, because he's so fucking wrong. He's going to what the hell? He's just continuing the wrongness over and over and over again.
Several chapters worth.
And I'm like, God, how much wrong can you be?
Right.
And we're about to find out, I guess.
Four chapters
worth, yeah.
Yeah, because it was chapters 29 to 32.
Yeah.
Okay? So here we go.
Okay.
And we start out with a date, so I'll be back into my notes with the date.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
In the 12th year, in the 12th month, on the first day, the word of the Lord came to me.
Came to Ezekiel,
Yeah. Okay, so here's what that date corresponds to approximately.
Okay.
About March 3rd, somewhere between the 3rd and the 22nd.
Sure.
Of either 586 or 585 BCE.
Got it. Okay.
Somewhere thereabouts.
So after the invasion of Jerusalem, and maybe like a year to year and a half after.
Sure.
It sounds like to me.
I cannot keep numbers straight, so I'm like,
I think the invasion of Jerusalem happened in like 587, or if it was either that or I think it was 587 or 586. I have
to have that in front of me, honestly.
Got it.
You could tell me that right now, and I won't remember it in 10 minutes. So anyway, he says, "Son of man,
you mere human,
you fucking worm."
Yeah. Wait, before we go further, just in case anybody's been listening to us when we say the son of man, you mere human, you fucking worm, it's because I realized that we've been doing this for a while, and if somebody jumped in like in the last few chapters, they're like, what is going on? What are they doing? and it goes back to God chastises his own people and calls them fucking names all the time. And one of them was like he called them worms. And one of them was actually mere human or something like that. Or like you're just a human and I'm God.
Right. And that's what son of man means.
Yeah.
It means you are not just human, you're only human.
Right. It occurred to me in yesterday's episode, I was like, we're just saying this over and over again.
Like it just kind of stuck. We never really discussed it.
Right.
It just happened. And we were like, Yeah, I like that. Like, this is the first time we've ever actually addressed it.
Yeah.
Like, we never planned it
I felt like it needed to be addressed because we say it all the time now.
We do.
And I love it.
I
think
do
it's
too.
great.
I do too.
But we never explained it to our listeners, so.
So that's how that happened.
Yeah.
And in case you were wondering if we are, like, well planned out or anything, we're not. And that is an example of how we just jive.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Husband and wife just jive.
That's right.
We riff well off of each other.
Indeed.
All right, son of man.
Yeah, mere human.
You fucking worm. Take up a lament concerning Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and say to him,
Okay.
You are like a lion among the nations. You are like a monster in the seas, thrashing about in your streams, churning the water with your feet and muddying the streams.
Okay.
So like a crocodile?
He was referring to him as crocodile before. Well, not in our translation.
Right. It was sea
in
monster.
Other translations he was. And so, yeah, I'm assuming this is kind of the same.
I mean, that's what a dude does.
Comparison.
He thrashes about.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how a crocodile kills its prey.
Right? That is some violent shit.
Those freak me out. I'm telling you, I said it before, crocodiles and alligators, to me, they're the same thing. And they are dinosaurs, but they are evil. And they are fucking crazy. And just look at their eyes, you guys. Just look at their eyes.
I don't know if you ever saw this video, but there was did I already talk about this? I can't remember if I did or not. But there was this guy down in Florida and his dog, it was like a little Shih Tzu or something like that, right?
Yes, he was on a bridge in Florida.
And the fucking, alligator, crocodile, whatever the fuck it was.
It was a gator in Florida.
Came up and like ate his goddamn dog.
Ate his fucking dog.
And
just
this
like,
guy was like, hell no. And goes in with it. He's like got a cane.
He had a walking stick.
Yeah, and he's like goes in and starts beating the alligator. He gets his dog back.
Yeah.
I'm like, you badass motherfucker.
Right?
What the hell?
To be that awesome when I'm that age, please God.
I gotta tell you, if my dog or cat got eaten by a gator, I'm like, fuck, sorry, man.
I'm crying while I'm running.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
I ain't doing that shit.
No, because I have seen those sons of bitches and they raise their whole body up.
Yeah.
And somebody told me, oh, it's just the young ones. No, sir. No, I've seen the videos, not the doctored ones, the actual videos.
Right.
Where those sons of bitches, those fucking dinosaurs, those evil, just gross monsters lift their whole bodies up and they can run.
Yeah. Oh, they can run really fast, too.
Miles per hour, okay?
Yeah. It's like 35 miles an hour, I think, if I remember correctly.
I can't run that fast.
Right, yeah.
You can't run that fast.
No.
They can fucking beat it.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not trying to fuck with those things.
Yeah. And my dog just said I'm sorry, but no.
Look, I look at those and I'm like, this is why humans were not meant to populate the planet. Because they're remnants of the dinosaur age and they are like a reminder of we were here first.
Right.
And they're right. They were.
But that dude with the cane and the dog, badass. I'm going to try to find that video and link it into the show notes because, I mean, you gotta see it. You got to see it. It's amazing.
See if you can find one where the dude like lifts himself up off the ground and just like starts booking it.
Oh. You mean like, the alligator, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, see if there's another video of that.
Sure.
I mean, guys, that's just creepy as fuck.
It is.
Okay, so anyway.
Yeah, enough about alligators and crocodiles.
Sorry. This is what we do. So Ezekiel is speaking for God, and he's like, Egypt, you're a fucking crocodile or whatnot. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
All right. This is what the sovereign Lord says.
Okay.
With a great throng of people, I will cast my net over you, and they will haul you up in my net. I will throw you on the land and hurl you on the open field. I will let all the birds of the sky settle on you, and all the animals of the wild gorge themselves on you. The word gorge is like so perfect. Like it's exactly what it sounds like. It's almost an onomatopoeia. I don't know that I would call it that because it's not a sound that is the sound it makes.
Right. But it embodies the action very well.
Like you hear the word gorge and you're like, yeah, I know exactly what's happening there. Slurp. There's an onomatopoeia. I will spread your flesh on the mountains and fill the valleys with your remains.
Wow. that is dark.
Right?
Yeah.
Like this is kind of cool, like in a goth kind of way.
Sure. But the part that occurs, so God, the way he speaks about killing humans and other people is just so disturbing sometimes.
I know. It's kind of like nightmare fodder.
You are kind of evil sounding. Like, he is not even just kind of. You are evil sounding.
Yeah. He's like the way that you would write a God that's evil in your fiction.
Yeah.
Like, he's that guy.
Yeah. No, he's definitely the evil God, right?
Yeah.
And I can't fathom how people read this book and they're like, he's a good God, he's a loving God. And I'm like, did you read the fucking Bible?
Right.
We're reading it. It doesn't sound good.
He's excited about murder, y'all. Yeah. I don't care who these people are.
You're assuming you're like one of the 5 people he actually lets go. But what makes you think you're that person?
I don't know, because I don't think I'm that special, and it has nothing to do with my quote unquote sins or whatever.
Right?
I know that a lot of people don't like me, and I'm pretty sure God would be right on the top of that list.
You've heard the term Sunday Christians before, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like, if you're a Sunday Christian, you obviously have not read the Bible, and moreover, you don't actually believe it.
Right.
Because if you read the Bible and you saw how God treated these people, you'd be scared out of your goddamn wits if you believed it, right?
Yeah.
If you actually believe this shit, I would be scared to fucking death.
Yes.
And I know that some people, that's how indoctrination happens, right? These kids get scared to fucking death.
Yeah.
And they can't leave.
Yeah.
And some people are actually that indoctrinated and that scared of God. But the Sunday Christians, those are the people I don't understand. Yeah. They have all these views that their pastor or their news media tells them to have that are quote unquote Christian related, but they're not actually based in anything that they know about the Bible.
Right.
And they don't have the appropriate amount of humbleness with regard to their God.
Yeah.
Because if you did believe in this God, you wouldn't act the way you act the rest of the week, right?
Exactly.
So like Sunday Christians make absolutely no sense to me.
No, me neither.
I'm sorry.
No, they do. They do make perfect sense.
Sure, it's a social construct, right? It's a social thing. That's all it is. But they
checking
also
the boxes and doing what you're supposed to do so that your neighbors like you.
But it's also weaponized. What do you call it? It's weaponized judgment. You get to use that thing that you say. I'm a Christian, right? You get to say I'm a Christian, and these are the things we stand for, and I'm going to weaponize that against your beliefs because it makes me feel better, even though I don't actually follow my beliefs. I'm still going to weaponize it against you.
And I don't even know the piece of material that my beliefs are based on.
Right. And it pisses me off.
Yeah,
it really pisses me off.
Yeah. I wish people would just read the Bible straight through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly.
I think it should be. I think if you're gonna espouse that you are a Christian, you should have to read the Bible straight through on your own and determine what you take from it on your own.
And
I want a goddamn book report.
I want I was going to say, I want you to have to justify 10 different evil acts.
Yeah.
You know, you get to pick the 10 and you get to use your own words.
Sure.
And then you get your certificate and your shiny gold star that says you are a certified Christian.
I'll even allow that they could listen to our podcast as part of this.
Sure.
You know, like if you want us to read it to you, we're reading it to you.
Yeah.
Come here, listen to us. Answer our questions for us.
Yeah.
You know, listen to the words of the Bible that we're reading and then answer the questions that we have about it. I want to know that you stand on firm ground with regard to your beliefs before I take any of your judgment towards me.
Yeah. 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 Before we get to talk about how you feel about me, let's talk about how we feel about your God.
Yeah.
Like, let's do that. And which one is he?
Right.
Because this guy sucks.
He does.
All right. Anyway, God is talking through Ezekiel.
Yes.
I will drench the land with your flowing blood.
Oh, my God.
All the way to the mountains. Speaking of evil.
Right.
And the ravines will be filled with your flesh.
Holy shit.
That is creepy shit.
This is some fucked up imagery.
When I snuff you out. I mean, I need that on a shirt, right? When I snuff you out.
Quotes from God, right?
Yeah. I will cover the heavens and darken their stars. I will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon will not give its light.
Okay.
All the shining lights in the heaven I will darken over you. I will bring darkness over your land, declares the sovereign Lord.
The darkness doesn't really matter if you're a splatter of fucking blood on the ground, does it?
Right?
I mean, if you're going to kill them that much and fill ravines with their remains, what do you care if it's fucking dark out?
Like, are you ruining the ecosystem or are you killing me? Pick a lane. I will trouble the hearts of many peoples when I bring about your destruction among the nations, among lands you have not known. Hey, there's some people over there. I'm going to kill them too.
Right. Well,
it has nothing to do with you, but...
No, I think he was saying that people that they don't know are going to be troubled by what happens to you.
Oh, okay.
Like, they're going to see the bodies lying in the ravines and be like, Jesus
Christ!
Fucking shit, Christ! What the fuck is that? Like, oh, that's that God over there in Jerusalem.
You know that guy.
He fills people in ravines all the time.
He's a murdery little fuck.
Yeah.
You just got to ignore him. Keep walking. I mean, honestly, if... Like, I don't know those people over there, though. I don't really care if they're
I would care if I came... Well, I mean, I don't think... How would you know what did it? If you don't believe in that God, you just be like, who the fuck filled this ravine with a bunch of bodies?
Either that or I would be like, oh, there are way too many alligators here. Right. I am out.
Or the correlation you might make, alligators, dead bodies... I'm not going to fuck with them, you know?
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah,
they have powerful magic god. Yeah.
Might be an alligator god.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, didn't the Egyptians have some kind of crocodile king god?
Probably. They had all kinds of cool shit.
They did.
Like, we can say that because it's a dead religion, right?
Yeah.
We can say that Greeks and the Egyptians had
the
cool
Romans.
gods, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't really exist anymore. Like, look, no God exists, but those gods aren't relevant to our society today.
We all collectively agree, even the Christians, that those things are funny.
Right. Which is funny to hear Christians talk about those dead gods because it's like, you don't even get the irony in what you're saying. You don't understand how this sounds to somebody who doesn't believe in your God.
Yeah.
Like, you should really examine this a little bit.
Like, I just want to tell Christians, unicorns are real until you can prove otherwise.
Yeah.
Because if your God gets to exist, I want a world where
there's unicorns
exist.
Right. Definitely.
So, fuck off.
Right.
I, God, will cause many peoples to be appalled by you, and their kings will shudder with horror because of you when I brandish my sword before them. On the day of your downfall, each of them will tremble every moment for his life. You know, just the ones I haven't killed and splattered, covered, smothered.
Yeah.
For this is what the sovereign Lord says.
Sure, yeah, okay.
The sword of the king of Babylon will come against you. Okay, so I'm going to use Nebuchadnezzar to get you.
Right. Again, not showing God's power. He's showing this conqueror's power. And it's not even somebody that worships him. And he's like, here, I'm going to have this guy that doesn't give two fucks about me come and kill the fuck out of you.
Right.
And then people are going to say it was my doing, apparently. I don't understand that at all. I would say, no, it's probably whatever God Nebuchadnezzar and his people worship. That's their God doing that because they're the ones taking over all this land.
If I was going to believe in a God, I would believe in the God of the conqueror.
Right. Yeah, that's usually the way it goes.
Not the conquered.
Right.
I will cause your hordes to fall by the swords of mighty men, the most ruthless of all nations. They will shatter the pride of Egypt, and all her hordes will be overthrown. I do like his perpetual use of the word hordes.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like the way these last couple of chapters have read.
Yeah.
It's in a very dark sense.
If I was reading it in a horror novel,
it's very beautifully written,
darkly beautiful.
Yeah, darkly beautiful. And if you can just get over the fact that people actually believe that this God exists, then
and he's beautiful and pretty and loving. Whee! I love this God. Yahweh's so cool.
It would be a cool thing to read about as something that was a dead religion, right? Like to see, look at this imagery that they're using, like that. That is amazing.
I would love to be able to assess it on those grounds. I
would love to be able to. Yeah. That would be amazing.
That would be really cool in a literary context, because that's my jam.
Right.
I will destroy all her cattle from beside abundant waters, no longer to be stirred by the foot of man or muddied by the hooves of cattle. What did the cattle ever do?
And again, I don't understand. If you're destroying the people, what does it matter if you destroy the cattle or not?
Why do the cattle have to? I don't understand.
I think he just likes fucking killing things.
He does. It's like that one bitch that we talked about last week or the week before I was sick, where she took her dog out and shot it, and then she was like, and while I'm here, I'm going to kill the goat too.
Yeah, oh man, now I'm drawing a blank on Katie Gnome or no, what the hell is her name?
Something Gnome, yeah.
Whatever, the governor of that one.
No, she's not a governor.
I thought she was. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
Kristi Noem.
Kristi Noem. Yeah. Yeah, she's like the governor of North Dakota or South Dakota, one of those Dakotas.
One of the Dakotas.
Yeah.
Apologies to the Dakota that does not contain her.
Yeah. No, we just didn't prepare to bring her up today.
And we're not geographically
adjacent to you. So it doesn't really affect us on a day-to-day basis.
I don't know those.
I mean, I don't know that I can name most of the governors in the United States. Like, there's not, unless they make some news, I don't really have any reason to know them.
Same.
You know?
Yeah. Then I will let her water settle and make her streams flow like oil, declares the sovereign Lord. Whee!
Yeah.
When I make Egypt desolate and strip the land of everything in it, when I strike down all who live there, then they will know that I am the Lord. See, sometimes you have to read dark things in a Candyland voice.
Yeah.
La 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 la. I'm gonna kill you all. Hee hee hee. Ha ha ha. Love to see the blood flow.
It's like he's saying he's doing this for the benefit of his people, maybe, or like the neighbors. I'm not really I don't understand. If you kill them all and their cattle and make it dark and fill the valleys with their bodies and completely destroy them, which you didn't actually, because this prophecy actually never comes true, not by Nebuchadnezzar. There is a place later that they do get conquered, but in the prophecy, it's Nebuchadnezzar that's supposed to be doing the conquering. Mm-hmm. So it's just, this is all bullshit, first of all. Mm-hmm. And then second, it's not who are you trying to impress?
What are you doing this for?
Right.
If you were somebody that survived in Israel, wouldn't you be like, please stop?
Right. I mean, honestly, if I was a human now and I thought that this God actually existed, if I believed that this God actually existed, I'd be looking for a way to, get rid of that God.
Right. How to kill a God.
Magic, an ancient magic spell that we could track down?
We gotta be
what can we do?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer and get the Scooby Gang together. Yeah. And Giles' magic shop.
This guy, he's just not going to do.
We can't study it out.
I can't truck with this God.
No. How do you get rid of a God?
I don't know. I guess we could call Sam and Dean and see what they say.
They have killed enough of them. I guess you can't kill a god till you get rid of all the followers. And
that usually maybe does it, maybe.
But then sometimes you kill the god and that sets free the followers from the thrall that they've fallen under.
Yeah, you got to be careful who you get rid of.
Which one comes first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know. This guy's held on forever. I'm going to guess he's the problem and he's got people enthralled to him.
Yeah.
So I would say let's figure out a way to kill gods.
Right, yeah. If anybody's got any ideas, no.
Obviously, we're joking because gods don't exist.
That's right.
This is the lament they will chant for her. The daughters of the nations will chant it. La, 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 la. I'm chanting.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was in the Bible for a second. I'm like, are you kidding me?
No, I'm a daughter and I'm chanting.
Oh.
Rah, rah, rah. Get him, get him, get him. I'm chanting.
It's funny that you said rah, 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 and we're talking about Egypt.
Oh, that is funny. Yeah. That is funny.
Yeah.
For Egypt and all her hordes, they will chant it, declares the sovereign Lord.
Okay.
See, I was chanting. Mm-hmm. I don't really know how chants go.
I mean, you chant, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, really. I mean, I guess it's got to sound like spiritually officious, maybe? That would be the best way I could describe a chant, maybe? That's all I got. I don't really understand, what distinguishes a chant from a scream or a yell
or a cheer.
Or a cheer.
What is this? UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. What? You ugly. Is that a chant? Or
little known fact, guys. Did you know that wife used to be a cheerleader?
Oh, that's not where I got that from, though. That's from the movie Wildcats.
Right, but I was just sharing a little known fact about you.
I was only a cheer. Okay, whatever. I was, but I wasn't a very good cheerleader. I was the only one that could do the splits in every single direction.
There you go. See?
But I could not do any flips or anything.
Yeah.
And
you were a cheerleader in Italy.
I was.
Yeah. Which I mean, that kind of makes it interesting a little bit.
It does, but it's so much more impressive on paper than in real life. I promise. If I told you the actual, you'd be like, oh.
Right, whatever.
Yeah.
You just got to stick with the good story and leave the rest of it out. Right?
I know. It's just everything about me sounds so cool until I tell you the story, and then you're like, Oh, so you're just nothing, though.
That's why you got to learn the art of, not telling everything. You just tell the fun bits, and let people draw their own conclusions.
I like honesty.
You tell the narrative that's going to be like, wow, that person did a lot,
I like honesty. I don't like being like an Elon Musk where I like toot my horn and I make myself seem bigger than I am. I like self-deprecation.
Yeah.
Because one thing is that then nobody can come along later and say, liar, hypocrite.
Right. I think, honestly, both of us kind of have the failing of being too honest about ourselves and everything. So
I don't think that that's a problem.
No, I shouldn't have said it's a failing. I should say that society kind of perceives it that way because you're supposed to pump yourself up.
You're supposed to be your resume, bigger. Which is like talking about how awesome you are.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, meh, I'm okay. I'll do.
I will say you're a lot more self-deprecating than I am, but
sure. But I don't hate myself or anything. I'm just not like overly impressed either.
Sure.
I'm mediocre and I'm fine with that.
I think most people are mediocre. I don't think that's like a failing among people.
That's the exact description or definition of the word mediocre.
The real question should be, are you happy with who you are?
Yes.
Right? That's the real question.
Yes.
Mediocre, excellent, or subpar doesn't really fucking matter. Mm-mm. It's a matter of how you perceive who you are and what you want to do and what you're doing.
Well, spoiler alert, the majority of us are mediocre, and that's because mediocre means plain in the middle, not very special at all.
Right.
And, just speaking on a scientific principle kind of thing, objectively, that is what we are.
Right.
So I'm fine with that.
Laws of,
what it reminds me of? Okay, totally way off subject.
Okay.
Sorry, but
not that we haven't been going off subject at all during this episode.
You'll totally appreciate this, though. Douglas Adams, right?
Yeah.
Zaphod Beeblebrox looks into the box, right? And in the box, he sees the entire universe and his place in it, and he's a minuscule nothing.
Sure.
He's just absolutely a zero.
Didn't he get depressed over it a little bit?
No.
Okay.
The majority of people
it's been so long since I read this.
I know, that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
The majority of people who look into the box and see how much they do not matter and how small they are, go stark raving mad and kill themselves or get depressed or, go mad,
but
whatever.
It's freeing at some level.
But yeah, he looks in and he's like, yeah, that tracks. And so he walks out and is able to be like president of the universe or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he's fine knowing that he really doesn't fucking matter in the grand scheme of things.
Right. Well, I mean, it frees you up to pursue your loves of whatever you love. You can pursue whatever you want if you just honestly realize that what you do should be your own thing.
Yeah.
You should pursue things for yourself because ultimately it's not going to make a difference to many other people in the world, generally speaking, Right. So it's just not, and if you take the universe into account beyond that, obviously the universe doesn't give a fuck about what Earth is doing even.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, not only is Earth not the center of the universe, like our universe is not even the center of like the galaxy.
Right.
Like,
wait, no, the universe is the whole shebang.
Okay, whatever.
The solar system and then the galaxy and then the universe.
I have a really hard time stacking. Like, honestly, I get them all out of order.
I just had to, I wasn't really listening that closely, but then I heard it in the wrong order somewhere and I was like, wait, that sounded wrong.
You get what I'm saying? Like, even the thing that is larger than us is not
the largest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, whatever. Be okay being small.
Yeah. Be okay being you.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. I accidentally scrolled and now I have to find my place. Okay, I'll destroy the cattle because I'm a fucker.
Yeah. Well, you really lost your place pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I did.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was down at the bottom. I was like, wait, I'm not
We're not
finished.
down at the bottom, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, make Egypt desolate. Okay. When I make Egypt desolate and strip the land of everything in it, when I strike down all who live there, then they will know that I am the Lord. This is the lament they will chant for her. The daughters of the nations will chant it. For Egypt and all her hordes, they will chant it, declares the sovereign Lord. Okay, that's what I had just read.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Now, in the 12th year, on the 15th day of the month,
okay,
the word of the Lord came to me.
Ezekiel, yeah.
Yeah. So let me get you that date.
Sure.
So that we can, know what date it is.
Right. That's very important.
Okay, yeah.
Knowing these dates thousands of years ago.
Yeah. This date corresponds to somewhere between April 586 to March 17th, 585 BCE.
Okay.
It just depends on the researcher because they use different methodologies and calculations.
Sure.
So they can give you like a roundabout. They can tell you like, obviously it's either March or April. So it's sometime in spring, but we don't know if it was spring of 585 or 586.
Got it. But if you ever want to get into some really weird calculations, you should look up numerology with regard to the Bible.
Oh yeah.
That'll take you down some fucking rabbit holes.
We talked about that a little bit with
the angel numbers and all that stuff. Yeah. That was a Patreon episode, I think.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So in this March or April of whatever the fuck year, 585 or 586 BCE, the word of the Lord came to me.
Ezekiel.
Yeah,
I like to make sure we say it like it's.
Yeah, who am I again? Yeah, right. Ezekiel. Okay. Son of man.
Yeah, mere human.
You fucking worm. Wail for the hordes of Egypt and consign to the earth below both her and the daughters of mighty nations, along with those who go down to the pit. And by pit, we mean the underground, the Sheol, the Hades.
But the difference is that the pit in the Old Testament does not mean the same thing as hell in the New Testament. There is a different understanding as to what that underground meant. It was a more visceral, real thing in the Old Testament because it actually referred to a pit like outside of Jerusalem.
Gehenna.
Yeah, Gehenna. That they're referring to, and that is what embodied the idea of the pit for the Old Testament.
Yeah.
It only evolved from there in the New Testament to mean something more ethereal and more, godlike with the whole Satan aspect and all that.
Exactly.
And Satan, like there's people that say that Satan's in the Old Testament, and there are a couple of references in the Old Testament.
Like in Job.
But it doesn't mean the same thing. It just means like adversary or the whatever.
It's the word for adversary or the guy who stands up and questions.
But
the challenger.
But people that, are Christian like to take the New Testament and backfill what they actually meant and say, well, that meant this and this meant this and whatever. And it's not correct. Like if you read this in the manner in which it's meant to be read from a Jewish standpoint, it does not mean what the New Testament says it means.
Right.
That's just not true.
It's not true.
You can try to make it mean the other thing.
It's not true.
But you can still take it and you can still look at it from the older perspective and say, well, that's what they intended there. And it makes sense that way much more than filling it in for Satan in the New Testament.
Exactly. So. Like, I know what Christians think it means. I would like to know, the dude that wrote it down, what did he mean?
Right.
Because I'm going to bet that if you believe in God, that's what God believed that day.
Yeah.
You know? That's what God wanted those people that day to think.
Yeah, if we look at this as, Old Testament, New Testament, right? God meant something different back here than he does here. Even if you take this as a literal representation of a God, that God evolved by the time we get to the New Testament. So wouldn't it make sense that his idea or his representations of what hell was would evolve from the Old Testament to the New Testament as well, right? Like that, to me, would make some sense. But no, we have to make God make sense.
Right.
And therefore, we have to make it all, linear, and it all is the same thing, and it's all from the same God, and they all mean the same thing.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work in my head from what we're reading.
Nope. So say to them guys that are going down to the pit.
Yeah.
Are you more favored than others? Go down and be laid among the uncircumcised.
Those damn uncircumcised.
Not those guys with foreskins.
Did you not get your wiener chopped?
You didn't get your wiener chopped.
Then you're going down to the pit, man.
You will burn in hell for that.
Yeah, for that uncircumcised wiener.
You should have got your dick chopped.
You really should have, man.
You sons of bitches.
You mere humans.
You fucking worms. They will fall among those killed by the sword. The sword is drawn. Let her be dragged off with all her hordes. Okay. Again, with the dark imagery here.
Yeah.
From within the realm of the dead, the mighty leaders will say of Egypt and her allies, They have come down and they lie with the uncircumcised, with those killed by the sword. Damn. That's what they're going to say.
Yeah,
that's what their neighbor... Can you believe these guys have to go lay with uncircumcised other dead people? Oh my gosh.
It strikes me that the Babylonians are probably uncircumcised too, and they're the ones killing them. Like, they're all fucking uncircumcised. It's just some of them are going to be dead. Yeah. Yep, that happened.
And some of them are going to be Babylonian, and some of them will be Egyptian.
Yeah.
And why does anybody care?
War happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens in war. People die. And some of them are uncircumcised. I bet there might have been a few that weren't. Maybe.
Sure.
Some people, I think, are born uncircumcised, or born circumcised. There is like a condition, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, but
we were talking about that back with Jeremiah.
Yeah, because they were accusing one of those dudes of like he was born uncircumcised.
Yeah.
And it's not
born circumcised.
Or it's not circumcision. It's
right.
A condition where you're lacking the entirety of
It's a defect.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I wouldn't call it a defect. That would be
a
like
mutation.
Yes, it's a mutation.
Sure.
I wouldn't say he's a mutant any more than like a kid that's born missing a finger.
But if it's if it wasn't
a person who's born blind.
But if it wasn't biblically ordained, then it has to be a fault of a God, so we can't admit that either.
Right. Right. So. Exactly. But again, like there are people born missing other parts, and we don't give a shit about those.
Yeah.
If it impacts their genitalia, then we care. But
sometimes they have extra parts. I'm kind of angry that I don't have a tail, I think a tail would be cool.
That would be cool. Like, I've actually heard about people that have, like, the remnant of a tail.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get that surgically removed because, I was joking that I would like to have a tail. But, I think, if you live in this culture, it would cause a lot of problems to have a tail.
It would cause a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I've heard about people that are born with some kind of defect behind their ears where scientists have done like studies on them and they're actually redundant gills.
Yeah, I've heard of that too.
Yeah.
You said defect though. It's a mutation.
It is a mutation. Yeah. You're right.
So, I'm just saying not to like, I said the same thing. I just was
No, you're right.
It is merely a genetic mutation is all.
No, so you're correct. It's a throwback.
And a defect.
A recessive gene.
We would have called it a defect in the past, but that sounds too mean. It sounds too... you're
ableist.
Not defective. You're just a human being that has something different from other human beings.
It's ableist. You have a recessive gene that showed up in you.
Exactly.
Like, duh.
Right.
Okay. So Assyria is there with her whole army. She is surrounded by the graves of all her slain, all who have fallen by the sword. So again, we're talking about Assyria. Remember how great they were and they died?
Well, I think that they were saying, I think the way it read was that they were going, like Egypt, the uncircumcised from Egypt were going down to the pit, right? Mm-hmm. And they were going down there, they were going to be with the other people that were in the pit, and the other people that are in the pit are the Assyrians. So I think that's what that's referencing there.
Their graves are in the depths of the pit, and her army lies around her grave. Mm-hmm. All who spread terror in the land of the living are slain, fallen by the sword. Elam is there, with all her hordes around her grave. All of them are slain, fallen by the sword. All who had spread terror in the land of the living went down uncircumcised to the earth below. I can't take it seriously.
No, like the fact that you have to throw in the uncircumcised bit is just ridiculous.
It's like, let's talk about some scary, dark shit with blood and knives and, and a grave and you're going to get buried alive. And now about your dick.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, you just took me right out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, lost the thread there, man.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but that has nothing to do, like, that part does not, it does not add to the story.
Not at all.
Like,
except for in a religious sense.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, it does matter religiously.
It does,
right?
But I just don't get it.
Well, I don't either, but I mean, it's not having accepted God, not believing in God. Why would we understand it? Well, I mean, we do logically understand what they are doing when, they say that the people from Jerusalem, or the Jewish people, are circumcised and other people are not, right? It's a indication that you have accepted your God and you believe in that God, and
it's the sacrifice you've made and the covenant that you signed.
Sure.
blah, blah, blah.
It's all those things. Now, why they chose to focus on dicks as part of this is beyond me, but we do know what it means. It just still is absurd in the whole, grand scheme of all the things that we're talking about.
Here's what I mean, though. Like, okay, the movie Willow, right? In the very beginning, like, Willow is trying to be a magician. He goes up to be tested every fucking year, and the grand old magician guy asks a question of all of the applicants, and they always fail. And the question that he asked this particular year was, which finger does your magic reside in? And I don't remember the fucking answer because it's irrelevant.
Right.
But that makes sense, right? Like, yes, we use our fingers. I can see magic being related to fingers, or God power, something being related to your fingers or your hands, right?
Sure.
I cannot understand how where I pee or fuck, I can't understand how that is not what I use practically in my everyday life out and about in the world.
Right.
So I don't understand it other than that it's your most vulnerable part of your body, I guess.
I think that's a large part of what this is. I mean, they obviously are very concerned about their penises in ancient times, right? That's how they make covenants, even amongst themselves. They wash each other's balls as part of a solidifying deals and shit. I mean, there's a lot of weird shit with regard to the genitalia in ancient times,
right?
And so I feel like they were preoccupied with the idea of this was a very important feature of what it is to be human. And so because it is a very important feature, it creates the babies, it releases the your waste, it does all these things, and so therefore it must be an important part of what it is to be human, right? So if it is an important part of being human, when God asked you to cut part of that thing off, that's a big fucking deal.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just okay. That's all.
No, you're bringing it home a little bit. It was the realization that is the most vulnerable part of your body.
Yeah.
That kind of did it for me.
Sure.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to justify, like, I still think it's absurd, right? Like, it's not.
I mean, your face is pretty fucking vulnerable too. Like, you could cut off your nose.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Like, you could cut off your nose.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do, but that is what they chose. So that's where we are. I mean, we talk about dicks in the Bible now.
Your feet have like billions of bones in them or whatever. Okay, not billions, but you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Like, they're pretty fucking vulnerable. Like, I snapped one of my bones just walking across my neighbor's backyard.
Yeah. Right.
So that's pretty fucking vulnerable. Like, we could have it like chop off a toe.
Right.
So
do you really need a pinky toe?
No. Like, you need a lot of your toes for balance. Like, I think your middle toe and your big toe are the ones you specifically need for balance.
Sure.
I could have those wrong. Feel free to shout out at me what a dumbass I am.
Yeah.
But there are a couple that you actually need for balance.
Got it.
But the other ones, chop them off, give them to God, whatever.
There you go. Yeah.
So why okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway.
Penises,
And if you are a person who has a vagina, you don't get to give up anything to God.
Right.
So it would be more gender neutral if we cut off our pinky toes instead.
Yeah. And don't forget, like we early on, it was David actually that collected foreskins from the dead that he killed to pay for his wife, which was some sort of a biblically arranged marriage type. It wasn't even biblically, but it was traditionally. I don't know why the fuck that happened, but he collected fucking foreskins off of the dead people. Like, so it's very the preoccupation with the foreskins is beyond me a little bit, but I understand the significance of why it's something that they might consider important, and it still is absurd to me though. So
yeah, it's absurd.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just leave it there.
Yeah.
It's also weird and gross. I'm not just going to leave it there. It's weird and gross because Republicans today are still preoccupied with genitalia.
They are.
But not just the penis. They are very occupied with what is happening to vaginas.
It's just that now if you want to solidify a deal with a Republican, you got to wash their truck balls instead of the...
That's hilarious. All right. So they bear their shame with those who go down to the pit. A bed is made for her among the slain, with all her hordes around her grave. All of them are uncircumcised, killed by the sword. Because their terror had spread in the land of the living, they bear their shame with those who go down to the pit. They are laid among the slain. The deads are
They're
dead with other deads.
Yep, in that pit.
And then they're all dead together being dead.
Yeah.
Got it. Meshech and Tubal are there with all their hordes around their graves.
Okay.
And these are other
Yeah, I think I remember them
dudes
being
in
mentioned at
cities or
some
whatever.
point or whatever. So
all of them are uncircumcised, killed by the sword because they spread their terror in the land of the living.
okay.
But they do not lie with the fallen warriors of old. They're in
No?
the bad graveyard, not the good one.
Oh, what's the bad grave? Wait.
The uncircumcised one.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
They don't lie with the fallen warriors of old who went down to the realm of the dead with their weapons of war, their swords placed under their heads and their shields resting on their bones, though these warriors also had terrorized the land of the living. You too, Pharaoh, will be broken and lie among the uncircumcised with those killed by the sword.
So there's tiers of how shitty the pit is.
I think it has to do with like Catholics have graveyards that are hallowed ground.
Yeah.
And if you commit suicide or other sins, you are not allowed to be buried in their graveyard. So you still get to be buried.
Sure.
But not in a Catholic
But
graveyard.
so I mean, it could actually mean like just literally the burial rites that are being instrumented here by like the pit could actually, in this case, since it's not literally talking about Jerusalem and Sheol and all that, that was like literally the pit.
Yeah.
And we're in Egypt, the pit could literally be a fucking pit that they're just
Right.
getting tossed into.
Yeah.
You know, and that would make sense in a awful scenario where war is happening on a large scale and lots of people are dying.
And it matters
right?
to them because they're in unmarked graves where their family members cannot come mourn them.
Right. Burial
and
rites
remember
are,
them.
even to this day, a very important rite for many, many cultures.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, that would make sense as to like mock them in that sense, right?
Right.
So
Right. Like you are going to be unknown to history. You're going to go down just one of many.
yeah.
So,
right.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Edom is there, her kings and all her princes. Despite their power, they are laid with those killed by the sword. They lie with the uncircumcised, with those who go down to the pit. All the princes of the north and all the Sidonians are there. They went down with the slain into grace, despite the terror caused by their power. They lie uncircumcised
In the pit. Yeah.
with those killed by the sword and bear their shame with those who go down to the pit.
Okay.
So all these
There's
bad
lots of
dads
dead people in the pit.
died.
Yep.
And they're all in the pit.
And they all still have
in the
fully,
proverbial pit, but a pit nonetheless.
yeah, with fully intact dicks.
Yes.
So, okay.
Those bad bones. Pharaoh, he and all his army, will see them, and he will be consoled for all his hordes that were killed by the sword, declares the sovereign Lord. Why will he be consoled?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, does it?
Although I had him spread terror in the land of the living, Pharaoh and all his hordes will be laid among the uncircumcised with those killed by the sword.
That doesn't
declares the sovereign Lord.
That doesn't
The end.
sound consoling. What did he say back there? He said
He
will be
Pharaoh and all
consoled?
his army will see them, and he will be consoled for all his hordes that were killed by the sword.
I would like to look into that phrasing a little bit more
me
in the
too.
Q&A because that doesn't make a lot of
That
sense to me
makes
at all.
no
It
sense.
sounds actually wrong.
It sounds like a bad translation.
Maybe, or just or they mean something else by
Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe the word consoled used to mean something different. I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
no, not
Right
at
there
all.
at the end, man.
Right.
Lost the plot.
Yeah. So that was a lot of dark imagery. And
It's the end of fucking around with Egypt.
I think I'm happy about. I don't know. I shouldn't. I don't want to presuppose what's going to actually be happening next.
Okay,
'cause-
I'm not gonna lie. I actually enjoyed hating these pieces. Like
Sure.
sometimes I hate pieces, and I'm like, nope, there's just nothing but hate. But this whole fuck Egypt and all of Egypt and Egypt needs to get fucked, right?
Yeah, right.
All of that, I enjoyed hating that section.
Yeah, I get that. And I actually kind of enjoyed the fact that this whole time that we've been talking about Egypt, that it was a reminder that God is not always right. Because the prophecy is very tenuous as far as it being fulfilled. So it's not holding up the truth, or it's not holding up what was said in the Bible as to what actually transpired.
Yeah.
So that
it didn't hold water with actual history.
Not that we need to prove through the Bible that the Bible is wrong, but it doesn't hurt when you're talking to somebody that's Christian
right.
to say, look, man, your Bible, like literally your Bible is wrong.
Yeah.
I can point to you 4 chapters in your Bible, in a book that you actually revere, Ezekiel, because Ezekiel is very prominent in the New Testament. I can point to 4 chapters in that book that are absolutely fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And they would be like, no, that's not in there.
Either
like,
that
well,
or you're reading it wrong. You're reading it out of context. Sure. You don't know.
No, and you can explain it to them any number of ways, and they're still going to say you're reading it wrong. But this is why I know I understand at that point they haven't actually read the Bible for themselves. They haven't sat down to try to understand it with any bit of intellect for them, like any bit of understanding or self-teaching. It's all been pumped down their throats from their pastor or whoever, the internet at this point. Like a lot of the people I talk to now are very much secluded in their own little bubbles with these online pastors that they never get to interact with. And the only thing that these pastors are sharing are sound bites about hell and transphobia and just hate messages, right? But it's intermingled with messages from the Bible. And they teach the Bible, but they teach the Bible in their own very specific way. And these people don't actually know what they're learning because they don't bother to read it for themselves. They don't bother to try to understand it for themselves.
Right.
And that's what bothers me about the ignorance that is inherent in a lot of the right-wing Christianity.
Sure.
So that being said, this was Ezekiel chapter 32.
Sure as fuck was. Which
means that we will be back tomorrow with
Ezekiel chapter 33.
All right. We'll see you then.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you know where the hell we are and how the hell we got here?
Well, we just finished earlier today, actually. We finished with Ezekiel chapter 32.
Sure as fuck did.
And in that chapter, we talked about a lot of dicks.
We did.
Yeah. So,
it was a sausage fest.
Right. Yeah. So apparently the uncircumcised, lots of uncircumcised foreigners and non-foreigners and people God doesn't like very much, they're all going to be lying in a pit. That may or may not be hell. We're not really sure, but they're all going to have uncircumcised dicks.
Do you think their dicks will touch?
I mean, if it's a pit, probably some of them will. Yeah, I would imagine that would be the case. But I don't have any way of knowing this for sure.
You know what I think is great?
What's that?
There's no ladies in the pit.
Yeah, right. But it was also the conclusion.
It's a good day to be a girl. We get raped all the other days, but on this day, all the dudes got killed and thrown into a pit.
Yeah. The other part of that was that this was the last chapter where we were discussing Egypt's downfall at the hand of God for existing. I'm not really sure exactly. For
being big.
Yeah.
And
because he decided,
for not following
he just on a whim, he's like, I'm going to kill Egypt. And that's that.
Hey, while I'm out here killing all these nations, I'm going to take some Egypt down with me.
Right. So
which didn't happen.
That was Ezekiel chapter 32.
Yes, it was.
Which means that today we're getting into
Ezekiel chapter 33.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, we are hopping into Ezekiel chapter 33, and don't you Ezekiel me.
Or Ezekiel.
No.
I did. See, I did it.
God damn it.
Don't tell me not to Ezekiel. I'm going to Ezekiel all fucking day.
Oh, that sounds so dirty. I might be into it. All right, chapter 33, ready?
I'm ready.
The word of the Lord. Guess what it did?
Is a vampire?
The word is a vampire. No, the word of the Lord came to me.
Okay. Yeah.
Son of man.
You mere human.
You fucking worm. Speak to your people and say to them, when I bring the sword against the land and the people of the land choose one of their men and make him their watchman, and he sees the sword coming against the land and blows the trumpet to warn the people, then if anyone hears the trumpet but does not heed the warning, and the sword comes and takes their life, their blood will be on their own head.
So if they choose to fight, they're allowed to live as long as they run away?
Well, he's saying, obey me, or else if you don't, then whatever punishment comes is your own fucking fault.
Right, but he's specifically telling them to put a watchman up, and then when they're coming to kill them, he's going to blow the horn, and if they don't run away, their death is on them, apparently.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Since they heard the sound of the trumpet, but did not heed the warning, their blood will be on their own head. If they had heeded the warning, they would have saved themselves. That's not how
this
that
sounds
works.
like a lot of justification for murder. You're trying to justify murdering people, God.
Yeah.
You need to stop trying to justify murder in any way whatsoever. If you're murdering them, you're just fucking murdering them.
Don't be like, I hit you, but you had it coming. Like, that's called...
You're either responsible for murdering people or you're not.
Yeah.
If you're not responsible for it, then you didn't command it. But if you commanded it, then you murdered them.
And don't worry about it. Like, you don't need to... It's your own fault. Like,
yeah, we don't need fucking excuses. Why is it God making excuses?
It's man making excuses.
Bullshit. I know what it is, but it's bullshit.
But
yeah,
if the watchman sees the sword coming and does not blow the trumpet to warn the people, and the sword comes and takes someone's life, that person's life will be taken because of their sin, but I will hold the watchman accountable for their blood.
What? They're all dead.
Well,
what do you mean, like as far as like their punishment in the afterlife or whatever?
Yeah.
So as long as like, hey, dude, we're gonna put you up on watch, and as long as you don't blow the horn, only you're gonna go to hell, man.
Yeah.
Just don't blow the fucking horn, okay?
And then none of the rest of us have to go to hell.
Right.
Whee!
But what happens if whatever? I don't fucking care. This is stupid.
Well, he's also saying it's kind of an analogy kind of thing, because he's also saying false prophets, right? If the people are led by a false prophet, then they're still going to die because they did bad, but it wasn't their fault, so I'm not going to punish them in the afterlife.
Because the person didn't tell them the correct message.
Right. So that's more what he's getting at.
So as long as you didn't receive the right message, well, this is a justification as to why people are okay with other people believing in different gods, right? Yeah. Especially ones that haven't been able to, quote unquote, hear the message of God, right?
The good news. They didn't get the good news.
Right. So this would be a justification for that, I guess.
You're still going to die.
Right.
You just won't burn in hell. God will... you don't get to go to heaven.
Right.
Where do you go then?
It's probably like purgatory, right?
Christians
at
don't
least
believe
if you're Catholic, anyway.
If you're Catholic, yes, but Protestants don't believe in purgatory.
Right. I mean, I don't believe in any of it, so I don't really know what the answer is there.
I don't
The
either.
answer is that you end up in the goddamn ground and you're dead. Yeah. And that's that. So
unless you get cremated, then you're not in the ground.
You still probably end up in the ground eventually.
I mean, your ashes might get scattered over the ocean.
Right.
That's not the ground.
They'll probably wash up on the shore, though, and then they're,
Okay, you're going too far. Son of man.
You mere human.
You fucking worm. I have made you a watchman for the people of Israel. So he's telling Ezekiel. He's like, you're a fucking watchman now.
Yeah, okay.
So hear the word I speak and give them warning from me. When I say to the wicked, you wicked person, you will surely die. If you do not speak out to dissuade them from their ways, that wicked person will die for their sin, and I will hold you, Ezekiel, accountable for their blood.
This is why people knock on your fucking door.
Yeah.
This is bullshit.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Like, you've been told.
I call bullshit here. So he's the trumpeter, right? He's the one announcing shit's going to be coming down the pike or whatever, right? And we're supposed to take the word of this guy who sees 1,000 eyeballs in an angely wheeled crazy thing in the sky, and who was willing to lie on his side for a year and a half to prove point. Like, he's just not quite all there, I would imagine. He doesn't seem like he's got his faculties all together.
Yeah.
And yet we're supposed to believe him about what God says instead of God just telling us. We're supposed to believe this dude, and if we don't believe him, then it's on us, and we're fucked.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't tell us, he's fucked. But he's going to tell us because obviously he does tell us. So.
But
yeah,
if you do warn the wicked person to turn from their ways and they do not do so, they will die for their sin, though you yourself will be saved. how many people do you have to tell? And I think we've talked about this before. Like, what if I only told like 99 of the 100 people, right? Am I still fucked because the 100th person didn't read the poster? Right. And like, do I have to go up to their face, or can I send them a letter? Can I fax it? Can I email?
Yeah.
Like, what is telling them? Like, can I just put up like a bulletin board?
Yeah, I would definitely, if I was Ezekiel, I would ask for some clarification.
I need clear instructions because I cover my ass.
Right.
I don't want to get in trouble later.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Son of man.
Yeah, mere human.
You fucking worm. Say to the Israelites, this is what you are saying. Our offenses and sins weigh us down, and we are wasting away because of them. How then can we live? So they're basically like, we suck so much that we're sucking. That's not fair. Say to them, says God, to Ezekiel. And Ezekiel is saying that God told him.
Sure.
As surely as I live, declares the sovereign Lord, I take no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but rather that they turn from their ways and live. Turn from your evil ways. Why will you die, people of fucking Israel?
Why will you die?
Yeah.
What a fucked up statement.
Why are you making me hit you? Why are you making me kill you? Stop making me punch you in the gut.
Yeah.
Stop. That is the words of an abuser.
Right.
Like, literally, men who say these things to women, and less often women who say these things to men, but it does happen.
Yeah.
Abusers who say these words get used in court to prove that they are abusive.
Right.
As part of their
But apparently Christians use these words to prove that there's a God. So, you know.
This is disgusting, though. Like, literally, this is abuse.
Yeah, no, I know.
Stop making me hit you.
Yeah.
Why won't you make me stop hitting you?
Right.
Like, I mean, we do this to our kids, like when we're joking around and we take their hands because they're weak, and we're like, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? And that's funny because you're just teasing them, and they laugh because they're like, I can't control my hands and you're making me hit myself. But this is not that. This is not fun.
Right. No, not fun.
Therefore, son of man.
You mere human.
You fucking worm. Say to your people, if someone who is righteous disobeys, that person's former righteousness will count for nothing.
Wow.
So you could be good all your life, but then, like, right before your deathbed, you fuck it all up.
Right. And then you're fucked.
Yeah, and then you're fucked.
But you could be bad your entire life, and then right before your deathbed, you'd be good.
You're like, just kidding.
And then you're saved.
Just kidding, sorry.
But, like, the predominance of bad would have happened with the person that got saved versus the person that died.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that makes literally no sense.
It doesn't. Like, your soul should be weighed. There should be some kind of scale.
Yeah,
and
the Egyptians actually did that kind of shit. I thought that's a much better method.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a way to judge people, it should be an amalgamation of your entire life, right? It shouldn't be just like this one act that you do where this jealous God who can't stand it if you don't like him says, fuck you because you didn't say I didn't like you. You turned against me, or you did this.
You didn't get on your knees often enough for me.
Right.
Yeah. No, I really like the scales because then it's like a case by case basis, and God's infinite, so he got the time, and you kind of get an idea of, but was I basically a good person? And I think that intentions matter. I think that should count for something.
I think some of that, like based on our reading in like the Jewish folklore book that we do, some of that philosophy filtered into some Jewish culture.
Yeah.
But it's not necessary. It didn't translate into Christianity.
It's not overt.
Right.
Or it is. No, it's not overt.
Right.
And if someone who is wicked repents, that person's former wickedness will not bring condemnation. So that's what you just said.
Right. No, it's exactly what I just said.
Bullshit.
Yep.
The righteous person who sins will not be allowed to live, even though they were formerly righteous.
Whatever.
That's a bullshit deal, and I don't take that deal.
No,
Thank you. No,
right?
Pass. Nose goes. I'm out.
You're saying you're basically saying that if a person is the worst human being, rapist, fucking just whatever,
pedophile, kitten killer,
his entire life, and then right before he dies, he says, I bow before you, God, and I rescind all the bad things, and I worship you, and whatever, then he's good.
Right.
But the person that was good their entire life gets to the end and masturbates but doesn't like wash his hands for 14 days or something like that, and then he's fucked and he can't get into heaven.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's just the laws that are in place. These things are things that could happen, apparently, like, because this is all God's laws and it's all bullshit.
It's nonsensical.
Because Jesus hasn't happened yet. We haven't forgotten about the shrimp and the fucking mixed threads and all that crap.
I was going to say, let's not even forget if you cut your hair.
Right.
Or you get a tattoo.
Yeah.
Or heaven forbid that you drink blood or you fuck your wife while she's on her period.
Right.
Like, oh, nope, sorry, you're going to hell. Wait, what?
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
This is
Crazy.
ridiculous. Ridiculous.
It is.
If I tell a righteous person that they will surely live, but then they trust in their righteousness and do evil, none of the righteous thing that person has done will be remembered, and they will die for the evil they have done.
We get it. You're an asshole, God.
Yeah, you're unfair.
Yep.
You're hard-handed and hard-hearted.
Right.
You're a son of a bitch, really.
Yeah.
And if I say to a wicked person, you will surely die, but then they turn away from their sin and do what is just and right, if they give back what they took in pledge for a loan, return what they have stolen, follow the decrees that give life, and do no evil, that person will surely live. They will not die.
That's a little better statement.
If they turn away.
And he's saying that they have to make amends to the things that they have done.
So it's not just lip service. They have to actually physically go through motions of repentance.
That's a little better. I'm not going to give it this.
How do you unrape a child?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
No, that's what I'm saying though.
I don't know that that's something that you could come back for though, because you can't. How could you make amends for that? Right. Like there is no making amends for that, so you're kind of fucked at that point. It depending on your philosophy on the whole situation, right?
Right.
So I mean, I could see where that could still be a thing where that person would be in this religion would be punished for that thing because they can't make amends for that thing. Right. That would make some sense to me. Mm-hmm. But the way they were saying it before this didn't track quite well.
Yeah.
That helps clarify it a little bit.
A little bit. Not totally.
Not total.
None of the sins that person has committed will be remembered against them. They have done what is just and right. They will surely live. Yet your people say, the way of the Lord is not just. Yeah, that is what I say. Thank you.
I do.
But it is their way that is not just. Don't call me mean. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. If a righteous person turns from their righteousness and does evil, they will die for it. Yeah. And if a wicked person turns away from their wickedness and does what is just and right, they will live by doing so.
That's great.
Yet you Israelites say, the way of the Lord is not just, but I will judge each of you according to your own ways. But I feel like you're not, though.
Right.
I feel like you're not.
I do wonder what they mean by die and live here, because this is one of those things that is a constant theme with the contradictions, is that oftentimes God says, I don't kill the wicked. They get their punishment in the afterlife or whatever.
Yeah.
And I do kill the righteous because it's just what the plan was. That was part of the thing that was going to happen or whatever.
Everybody dies.
So like bad shit happens, right? But these things they go back and forth. Like but when they want you to believe that God is good, he's like, if you follow the rules, then I will do the good. You get the good stuff. If you don't follow the rules, you get the bad stuff.
I would
right?
never.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if he's like trying to be a scary fuck, he's like, I will kill you all. None of you are good. You all suck. You're mere humans.
By I mean Babylon.
Right. All right. So now we are moving on to a new section. Same chapter though.
All right,
okay.
Sure.
All right. In the 12th year of our exile, in the 10th month, on the 5th day, a man who had escaped from Jerusalem came to me. Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Who escaped from Jerusalem.
Yeah, remember that was like one of those foretold things several chapters ago?
Oh,
and I was like, that's the thing that's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is that coming to pass, so to speak.
Sure.
But let me look up this date really quickly here.
No problem.
Scroll. All right. So this date, it depends. Okay. If we're going with the 12th year as it says, the date corresponds to January 8th, 585 BCE. But that would mean that news of the fall of Jerusalem didn't reach Ezekiel in Babylon until well over a year after the calamity happened.
Yeah.
And an alternative translation reading in the 11th year instead of the 12th year is preferable, because that means that only about 6 months would have been the interval.
So these are like alternative facts, but Bible version?
Well, it depends on what translations you read.
No, I got it. But it feels like the translation was made to fit the circumstances as opposed to the circumstances fitting the text.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that sounds like they were like, wait, this doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, somebody can't add.
Right.
And it was me.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. All right. So, anyways, whatever year it was, while we were in exile,
Yeah.
a man who had escaped from Jerusalem came to me and said, "The city has fallen." Now, the evening before the man arrived, the hand of the Lord was on me, Ezekiel.
Okay.
And guess what?
He spoke to him?
He opened my mouth. Okay,
I don't know how I feel about this.
I know.
God's already showed Ezekiel his dick. So,
I know.
You know what I mean?
There's more to this than this, but I just wanted to pause there for a minute just to let you imagine. He opened my mouth.
Right,
okay?
yeah.
And before the man came to me in the morning, he opened my mouth. Okay.
Okay.
So my mouth was opened. Oh, and I was no longer silent. Remember, he like did all of these prophecies and is like, shit is coming down the pike. Jerusalem's going to get fucked.
Yeah.
And then all the people were like, that's so rude and wrong. Nuh-uh, whatever, dude. And then he was like, well, I'm sorry. I just delivered the message. That's what I do. And then he like couldn't speak for a year.
Oh, that was part of that whole display thing. So like
Yes.
we're going back to that part where he was like
Yes.
lying on the ground.
Lying on the ground.
Yeah.
Lying on the ground.
All right.
Yeah, that. So now his mouth is open because Jerusalem has fallen, and the dude came just like he said would happen, right?
Got it.
So then the word of the Lord came to me, and I'm like, God, it feels like you've been talking this whole fucking time, Ezekiel.
Right, yeah.
Son of man.
Yeah, mere human.
You fucking worm. The people living in those ruins in the land of Israel are saying, Abraham was only one man, yet he possessed the land. But we are many. Surely the land has been given to us as our possession.
I don't understand what that has to do with anything.
There are people who have survived and they're like, this is our land and fuck Babylon and we're going to go there and get it.
Right. No, I get it. But I mean, obviously they just, destroyed you. So
yeah, but they still want that land. It's still theirs. They're like, God gave that to us.
All right.
We don't fucking care that we're getting.
I mean, I to some degree, I understand that. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be forced out of where I live either.
Sure. No, me neither.
So.
But God does not like this, okay?
Okay.
Therefore, say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Since you eat meat with the blood still in it and look to your idols and shed blood, should you then possess the land?
So this is a guilt trip for doing the things that were just done at those times.
Yeah, the idol worshiping.
Because it was we've talked about this. Seems like it was pretty commonplace with regard to their neighbors and just like different cultures that were all kind of intermingling at that point in time. So and I feel like the priests were kind of more of this like higher stature that was like above the rest of the people that didn't really have any. There was no intermingling between those groups of people, right? They were different. They were different sets of
kind
people.
of like Republican leadership versus people like my parents and just commoners. Yeah, common Republicans that don't.
Yeah, it was a.
There's no.
I'm sure it was a classist system.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You rely on your. This is God talking some more still to the guys that are like, but we want our land.
Right.
You rely on your sword. You do detestable things, and each of you defiles his neighbor's wife.
Wow.
Every single one of you.
Wow.
Every single one of you is fucking your neighbor's wife.
That is a lot of fucking around.
And I'm like, every single one. So did they just like be like, okay, every night, turn clockwise, and that's the house you're fucking with tonight, and then we'll just go every night, do the next house over until you get back to the start.
It's like Musical Wives, right?
Yeah.
And he has a lot of nerve though, but saying that they value their swords more than whatever when he's the one literally using the sword against them.
I know. He's like
how does that
swords
work
are
out?
great. I'll kill you by the sword. Fuck your swords. What? God, pick a lane.
Right.
Should you then possess the land, you wifey wife fuckers?
I'm sure your answer is no, so.
Say this to them. says God.
Okay.
Okay, say this.
Yeah,
Ready?
I'm ready.
This is what the sovereign Lord says.
Okay.
As surely as I live, those who are left in the ruins will fall by the sword. Those out in the country I will give to the wild animals to be devoured.
Ooh.
And those in strongholds and caves will die of a plague.
Wow.
God,
Man.
so rude.
Yeah.
I will make the land a desolate waste, because that's the kind of thing I like to do, is, ruin it for the animals too.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember when we were reading Jeremiah, there was a remnant left in Jerusalem, and at first, before that one dude that was, I forget what his name was, but he was staying with some other tribe, and he came in and then killed everybody at that dinner. Mm-hmm. You remember what I'm talking about?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So before that, though, God was okay with there being a remnant left in Jerusalem, and then that happened, and he's like, no, it's all off. Bye. See ya.
Yeah.
But there wasn't an official end until they just couldn't sit still and, not kill people. So
right.
I don't know.
Oh, God.
But I feel like this wasn't like a definite, like, that was the end.
Right.
You just, it is what it is.
Yahweh's just a dick.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
I will make the land a desolate waste, and her proud strength will come to an end. And the mountains of Israel will become so desolate that no one will cross them. Then they will know
that he's the Lord.
That I am the Lord.
Yeah.
When I have made the land a desolate waste because of all the detestable things they have done. So let me get this straight. People are going to walk by a desolate land and be like, wow, check that God out.
Yeah.
That is some piece of shit land. I am so impressed. I don't think that's how that works. I think they'll walk by and be like, surely no God dwells here. Look at this land.
Right.
There is no God.
Yeah.
If there was a God here, he would surely have blessed these people and this land.
Right. I mean, if I was looking at what that God did to those people, I'd be like, I am good with our God. You? Yeah? You okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Let's keep our God.
Let's
keep
being white fuckers.
That fucker. Look at that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up.
As for you, son of man.
Yeah, you mere human.
You fucking worm. Your people are talking together about you by the walls and at the doors of the houses, saying to each other, come and hear the message that has come from the Lord. My people come to you as they usually do and sit before you to hear your words, but they do not put them into practice. Their mouths speak of love, but their hearts are greedy for unjust gain. Okay. I like that phrase.
Yeah.
Their mouths speak of love, but their hearts are greedy for unjust gain.
Sure.
That describes every single pastor I've ever met, like, in the church.
It describes a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that there are a lot of people that are not genuine in who they are and what they intend. You know, I think that is a good way to describe human nature.
Yeah.
At its worst, in its worst sense. You know, like people are kind of two-faced sometimes, and they don't say what they mean. They don't do what they mean. They don't do what they say.
They should be autistic like me, and then they wouldn't know the difference, and they would always just say what they mean, and then come to regret it later and be like, well, I've learned since then, but I meant what I said when I said it, even though I don't feel that way anymore.
I will say, since I have known you, I feel like I've had to become I don't know if I would say a better person, but a more upfront and honest person.
Yeah,
you know? And I'm not saying that I was deceitful.
You were never deceitful, but like when we first got together and like you would make me a promise and like I literally did not understand if you broke the promise. Like you didn't take it as literally as I did.
Right.
And like it would break my heart because I would be like, but you promised. And you'd be like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like nobody takes promises like that. And I'm like, right. No, but what?
But you did.
Yeah.
So I had to rethink how I said things, how I thought of things, how how I interact with people in general, because it affects you differently than other people. As to like, there's these general niceties that people do that are just kind of white lies. You know, like they make promises, they say things that they don't necessarily intend or mean, and there's no real harm meant by it.
Yeah, but you know what? Let me interrupt you just for a minute to clarify. Like, I don't want anybody out there thinking that I'm accusing you of making like heinous broken promises. No. When I said broken promises, they were stupid shit like hey, don't stop and smoke on your way home because you're trying to quit or whatever. Right. And then you would, and you wouldn't tell me. And then I would ask you, and you would be like, yeah, I did. And I would be like, but you promised. And then you didn't tell me after you promised. And you'd be like, what's the deal?
Right.
And like, that's the kind of thing. And it's not the smoking or the not smoking or whatever. It was literally the words that you said to me in
the exactness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
your
I took you to heart.
Requires exactness, and you require
black and white
clarity.
It's black and white thinking, and I have that.
Yeah, but not in the way, not because you're dumb or not because you're like not able to understand things. It's just how your brain initially interprets information that is given. It's
not just information though; it's also relationships.
Sure,
like. No, we love each other, so I take you at your word because we love each other.
Right.
And that was like more responsibility than you realized you were taking on. And you were like, hold on, I didn't know all these words were in there.
Right.
But I mean, we've had to learn each other.
Yeah.
So,
no, I mean, that's a part of any relationship.
Yeah. But, I didn't want anybody out there thinking like that you like did something seriously heinous or whatever. No, it was like dumb shit, stupid promises.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that the end of
No. Okay. Sorry. We have a couple more sentences here.
Okay.
And also, I have to say something. When I said people should be autistic like me, I was absolutely not trying to be ableist or use terms incorrectly. Like, I am currently being assessed for autism, and all the doctors and all my family and friends pretty much agree that I'm like 100% on the spectrum. So just putting that out there. Don't want anybody to think that I'm like...
No, I got you.
Okay. Indeed, to them you are nothing more than one who sings love songs with a beautiful voice and plays an instrument well, for they hear your words, but do not put them into practice. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
You sing a good song.
The end of that chapter was actually kind of good phrasings.
When all this comes true, and it surely will, then they will know that a prophet has been among them. The end.
Okay.
That's what they'll know.
Got it.
This time they'll know that a prophet's been among them, not that I am the Lord.
Well, I think the mere fact that they recognize he's a prophet is saying that they then believe that God told him the things that he told him. Right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where that was going with that, I guess.
Yeah.
But, you know, we've already talked about how Ezekiel / God got Egypt wrong. And I don't really... I also feel like a lot of this stuff, and I don't know how much of this is true and how much isn't true, but... Or
backdated or whatever.
Right. Well, and that's what I'm saying. I think there probably have been some edits. We just talked about one in this chapter, actually, as far as the time frames, right?
Yeah. Was it a year or was it 6 months?
Right. So we just got done talking about exactness. The exactness of the Bible is very it's very questionable.
And that makes it so difficult for somebody like me to try to understand it because I want to know what happened.
Sure.
I can't have a good opinion about it unless I know what happened.
And I honestly feel like if you're talking about a God, right? A God who determines your entire eternal livelihood, I guess, right? If you're talking about something that important, you should be able to be very exact if you're a prophet.
Yeah.
You should be able to tell me exactly why I should believe in this fucking God.
Right?
Like,
Convince me.
I'm not talking to the God. I'm talking to a human. You're a human, dude.
And right now, we're not even talking to humans. We're just reading this book. You are not convincing me, God.
Yeah.
You are not convincing me.
Not only are you a human, you're a human that I'm not 100% certain who you were from thousands of years ago. And I don't even know that you wrote all the words that I'm reading because there's a lot of questions about when and
authorship.
Who and what when everything was written. And
you saw eyeballs on wheels.
Yeah.
I just don't know anything about that, dude.
I got lots of questions.
Yeah.
Lots.
Yeah. This book is failing to
And then when I don't take your word, you just lay on the ground for a year. I mean, like, what am I supposed to do with that, man?
So true.
All right, so that was Ezekiel chapter 33.
Sure as fuck was.
Which means that we will be back tomorrow with...
Ezekiel chapter 34.
All right, we'll see you then.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember what happened yesterday and where the hell we are today?
Well, yesterday we read Ezekiel chapter 33.
Sure as fuck did.
And in that chapter, God was saying how... if you have been a good person your entire life and good with God and the whole 9 yards, you might be fucked still.
Yeah, if you're like bad at the last minute.
Yeah, you still won't get into heaven or whatever the fuck it is that you're going to get into back in the Old Testament. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then if you're bad your whole life, as long as you redeem yourself at the end, you're good to go.
No, it's not just lip service though.
No,
you
I know.
have to do actual actions.
That based on what we read, yes. But it just the whole concept seems kind of bullshitty.
I have to agree with you.
And we talked about a little bit how we liked the weighing of one's life, like the Egyptians did.
Yeah.
As that was a little bit
the weighing of the soul.
It's kind of. I feel like that's a little bit more realistic and fair. I'm just saying on the grand scheme of things.
I agree.
So anyway, that was Ezekiel chapter 33.
Yes, it was.
Which means that today we're getting into
Ezekiel chapter 34.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, we are jumping into Ezekiel chapter 34.
As I like to say, Ezekiel, to make sure everybody knows what we're reading.
Because you're a buzzkill. And no notes. Here we go. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. The word of the Lord came to me.
Did it now?
It sure as fuck
Ezekiel
did.
came to Ezekiel.
Me, Ezekiel. Yeah. Son of man.
You mere human.
You fucking worm. Prophecy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophecy and say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says.
Okay.
Woe to you shepherds of Israel who only take care of yourselves. Would not shepherds take care of the flock?
They wouldn't really be shepherds if they didn't, did they?
Well, yeah. He's referring to the leadership.
No,
like
I got
not
it.
taking care of the people properly.
Right, yeah.
You eat the curds, clothe yourselves with the wool, and slaughter the choice animals, but you do not take care of the flock.
It's interesting that they brought that up because early on in the Bible, I don't know if you recall this, but we talked a lot about the rituals that they had in place where they would sacrifice animals and the priests and the higher ups would have that food for them, essentially.
Yeah.
Like it was for God, quote unquote. But the families and the people that were higher up, like the priests and shit, they were the ones that actually got to eat it.
Yes.
So it was kind of the beginning of like them taking the best stuff from the people that were poor,
fleecing the people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And
here's what the leadership
they're like, that shit's going
today.
wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is, I mean, it's kind of cool that they're calling it out. Like, they're admitting, this was a bad thing. So obviously there was like
complaints
people
about
like,
it.
This is not a good thing.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
There was some clear clashing of classes.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
You have not strengthened the weak or healed the sick or bound up the injured. You have not brought back the strays or searched for the lost. You have ruled them harshly and brutally. So they were scattered because there was no shepherd. And when they were scattered, they became food for all the wild animals. My sheep wandered over all the mountains and on every high hill. They were scattered over the whole earth, and no one searched or looked for them.
That's so sad. But wasn't he the one that scattered them, though?
Scattered.
I mean, like that's what that's what we've been talking about, right? Since Jeremiah, he's going to scatter them all over the fucking place.
Yeah, but this is like one at a time, not like the whole population.
Yeah, I guess.
Whatever.
I mean, I don't know. This could be referring to the scattering of his entire tribe.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. It just makes me think of Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep.
Yeah.
And the movie Toyland.
Okay.
I couldn't get it at first. I was like, Toy Story. No, that's Pixar.
Right.
Toyland. One of my favorite Christmas movies.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Anyway, therefore, you shepherds, hear the word of the Lord.
Okay. All right.
As surely as I live, declares the sovereign Lord.
Which is in question.
Because my flock lacks a shepherd, and so has been plundered, and has become food for all the wild animals, and because my shepherds did not search for my flock, but cared for themselves rather than for my flock, therefore...
They're going to die?
You fucking shepherds, hear the word of the Lord.
Okay.
This is what the sovereign Lord says.
I thought he just told us he was saying this shit.
He's like, listen. I'm telling you some stuff. Listen.
Now I'm telling you more stuff.
Okay. I'm about to tell you. Listen.
He really wants to make sure that they know he's talking. Mm-hmm. I mean, through Ezekiel.
I, God, says Ezekiel.
Yeah.
am against the shepherds. Oh, no. And will hold them accountable for my flock. I will remove them from tending the flock so that the shepherds can no longer feed themselves. Oh man, you ain't got to starve everybody.
Right?
Good grief.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. If you're gonna do something horrible to somebody, don't torture them and fucking it's like you're just a mean asshole.
Right.
That's really all you're doing.
You're like pulling the legs off of flies.
Right.
And I don't even like flies, and I wouldn't do that.
You're very abusive.
Yeah.
This God is very abusive.
Abusive to the point of masochism because he enjoys watching them suffer.
Right.
I, God, says Ezekiel, will rescue my flock from their mouths, and it will no longer be food for them. For this is what the sovereign Lord says.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay? I says.
Right.
I myself, God, says Ezekiel, will search for my sheep and look after them. I'm doing my damn self.
Wouldn't you feel like the person saying that, like he's literally saying, I am God, for God, right? As a prophecy to these people, chastising them and berating them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you feel like that fucker is like a little bit
uppity?
Yeah.
Like, whomst the fucks, my good sir?
Yeah, why should just shut up, man?
Well, that, and I'm like, why the Lord gotta look for his fucking sheep? He don't know where they be?
Well, we know from early on he does not track people down very well.
He does not have a good GPS.
Even when there was only like 2 people around, he has some issues.
Yeah.
So
yeah. He is not any better than these shepherds at keeping up with his flock.
Right.
As a shepherd looks after his scattered flock when he is with them, so will I look after my sheep, if I could find them.
Right, yeah.
I will rescue them from all the places where they were scattered on a day of clouds and darkness. I will bring them out from the nations and gather them from the countries, and I will bring them into their own land. I will pasture them on the mountains. I said pasteurize.
I know.
Good glass of milk. I will pasture them on the mountains of Israel, in the ravines, and in all the settlements in the land.
One would think if he was as powerful, if God is as powerful as everybody and God claims that he is, that he could have prevented those people from being scattered in the first place. And you would think that if these people were being evil, he could have rectified that earlier on before they fucked up.
Right.
But no, he just let them be in power, right? Like this is the part where he's like, I will punish those who are evil, but not like right away or anything.
Yeah.
Like, whenever it happens, it happens. But I'll punish them for sure.
You know what it reminds me of? It's like, okay, when I was a kid, sometimes my mom would be in the middle of something and I was trying to get her attention and I would be like, Mom, 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 hey, Mom, hey, Mom.
Right.
And then I would like start calling her by her first name. Yeah. To try and get her attention,
Yeah.
And so I would get like silence, and then all of a sudden she would turn around and go, what?
Yeah.
And so it went from 0 to 150 in no time flat.
Right.
And that is what God's doing.
Yeah.
Like, he ignores them for centuries, doesn't answer, doesn't hardly talk to them, doesn't do very much with them at all. And then all of a sudden he turns around and just snaps at them and he's like, you're dead and you're dead and you're dead and fuck all of you too. But again,
we're taking the word of a prophet who is just saying that the things that are happening in the world are caused by a God. Right? This actually has nothing to do with a God.
No, I know that. I know that.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's crazy people, essentially.
Yes,
like,
I agree. I was speaking as if in canon, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In canon, this God that is being described here is a lot like my mom used to be when I was a kid.
No, I got you.
This character, I guess.
Yeah.
Like literary analysis,
Yeah.
This character is flawed deeply.
Right.
Such a bad God.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming outside of the good book.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course there's no God.
Right. No, I know you know that. I just was trying to say that, like, I'm trying to put it in perspective, because it's one thing to say that this God can't track people down and they can't, punish the right people and all that, but that's not really what's happening anyway.
Right.
There's just politics going on and war going on, and these prophets are commenting on it from their perspective.
Right.
And their perspective is that they want people to probably come to their church or whatever the fuck it is back then. Like their grouping, or they want people to listen to them. Mm-hmm. And so if they can be correct in their quote unquote prophecies, mm-hmm. they're going to gain followers, which gains them influence.
Right.
So,
and then it is a snake eating its own tail.
Right.
You know? I will tend them in a good pasture, and the mountain heights of Israel will be their grazing land. Mm. There they will lie down in good grazing land, and there they will feed in a rich pasture on the mountains of Israel.
That sounds so nice.
Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah.
I myself will tend my sheep and have them lie down, declares the sovereign Lord. I will search for the lost and bring back the strays. I will bind up the injured and strengthen the weak, but the sleek and the strong I will destroy. Because fuck you.
All right. Yeah.
I will shepherd the flock with justice.
But you let them lose your sheep first and scatter them all over the fucking place. I gotta go find them,
guys, and then I'll take good care of them.
You didn't pay attention while they were doing it. You waited till they did it.
Right.
And then you got mad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yep. As for you, my flock, this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Okay.
I, God, says Ezekiel,
right, yeah,
will judge between one sheep and another, and between rams and goats. So he's saying he's going to take it on a case-by-case basis, but that's not what it sounded like to me. He's like doing whole swaths.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure where he's going with this exactly yet.
Well, he says he's going to judge between one sheep and another.
But what is he going to judge them for? Like, we haven't finished the thought, so I'm just curious.
Okay. Is it not enough for you to feed on the good pasture? Must you also trample the rest of your pasture with your feet? Is it not enough for you to drink clear water? Must you also muddy the rest with your feet? Must my flock feed on what you have trampled and drink what you have muddied with your feet? So he's saying, like, not only are y'all sinning, but on top of that, you're leading these other fuckers into sin as well.
Right.
And so, like, you're not just in trouble, since you're leadership, you're not just in trouble for what you are actually doing, your own sacrifices and idol worship and whatever sex depraved thing that you're doing or whatever.
Right.
Not only are you in trouble for that, but because you are a leader and you led those people to do it too, now you're in trouble big time.
Got it.
I think that's what this is.
Okay. All right.
Getting at.
Yeah.
Like, you're not just drinking the water.
I thought maybe he was judging the actual flock, because that's kind of what he was talking about, and saying that if I'm saving you and you're not rectifying your ways, then you still might be fucked. Like that's where I thought he was going with that.
Well, he's saying that you're drinking the good water. Yeah. And then on top of that, not only did you get something good for yourself, but then you dirtied it for everybody else. And this whole chapter is addressed to the shepherds.
Got it.
So that's what he's getting at. Like, I
just thought he was talking to the flock here. That's all.
No, he's talking about his flock, but to the shepherds. He's like, you shepherds fucking suck. Okay. Yep. So, must my flock feed on what you shepherds have trampled and drink what you have muddied with your feet? Okay. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says to them. Got it. The shepherds.
Right. The reason I thought that, I guess, is because he was going to destroy them. So what does it fucking matter? You're going to destroy them and bring them your people back to feed on the.
Oh, that was a different chapter. Right now,
it was this chapter.
I know. Well, this whole chapter, he's been saying, you fucking shepherds, I will destroy you. Right. Like, the previous chapter yesterday was about the people. And he was telling them, I'm going to destroy your asses. Right. I'm going to murder you and dump you everywhere. I just can't keep track
on any given day who the fuck he's destroying. There's so many people. Well,
this chapter is specifically the whole thing, based on the notes that I read. The whole thing is addressed to the leadership.
Got it.
So yesterday was the people, today is the leadership.
All right.
And that's why he's talking about them as shepherds, because they're
the leaders and they're leading the flock and
astray.
Blah, 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 whatever.
They're leading them astray. And so he's like, I'm going to fuck your shit up. Right. You're worse than the fucking people because you know better and you led them to do it. They might not have done it.
Right.
I'm still going to punish the fuckers.
Yeah.
Because, I'm God and I can, and I like pain.
Yeah, it seems that way. Yeah.
Pain. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says to them.
Okay.
See, I myself will judge between the fat sheep and the lean sheep.
Okay.
Because some be fat and some be lean.
I'm assuming lean is better, maybe.
I have no idea. Because you shove with flank and shoulder, butting all the weak sheep with your horns until you have driven them away, I will save my flock and they will no longer be plundered.
Okay.
Shove with flank and shoulder.
You're just saying that they're bigger and stronger, so they're getting everybody else out of their way, and they're taking the spoils of.
These are like the rams.
Yeah.
Because he's talking about their horns.
Right.
You're pushing them away and taking all the good. Okay.
Right.
I will save my flock and they will no longer be plundered. Okay. So he's saying you guys are like grifting them and taking advantage of them.
Yes.
Okay. I will judge between one sheep and another. I will place over them one shepherd, my servant David.
Okay. That's interesting.
Uh-huh.
I don't really know. I mean, like we keep coming back to this David thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like at one point we had David, and then David died,
mm-hmm.
and then we had the line of David,
mm-hmm.
and then we lost the line of David.
Zedekiah, right? Was he the last
think that's
David-y guy?
Probably somewhere around there. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we had like zombie David, maybe.
Okay.
Because remember, he was going to come back, like he was going to do the line or something.
So is this what he's talking about right now?
I don't know.
My zombie David servant?
Maybe Ezekiel's been down in Babylon too long, doesn't really know that the line of David is gone.
Right.
Maybe he didn't get the news.
He didn't get it.
I have no idea.
So anyway, I will place over them one shepherd, my servant David, and he will tend them. He will tend them and be their shepherd. So this is where Christians talk about Jesus as the shepherd that he was referring to.
Yeah, well, but they're saying David, though.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because in the Old Testament, David is the figure.
Yeah.
Right? Like David is
Moses.
And then but later
David.
On, once we get past the Torah, we're talking more about the David line, right?
Sure.
And the whole David is everything when we get
he's
past
the
that.
guy.
And it's very interesting because, like you said, and I don't know this yet specifically, but like a lot of the David stuff is interpreted as Jesus.
Yeah.
And it's just not that. That's not what it is.
Or pre-Jesus. Or Jesus is re-David.
Right. Well, I mean, the reason that people say that that's the case is because the New Testament had to co-opt things from the Old Testament and make them their own, right? And so it did, but it fails to actually pull in, like they're not great writers.
No.
So they're not, like they should have gone back and edited the Old Testament if they were going to do this.
Yeah.
But no, they left the David shit in.
Yeah.
And they're just claiming that that's, the David line is going to be Jesus, which I guess we can fantasize that is something that might be possible, I guess. But it seems really, really, really far-fetched to me.
I feel like they're really, really trying to stretch it.
Right. And the fact that we don't even we're just saying David. We're not saying the line of David, which maybe it's implied, right?
Sure.
But the fact that he says David just shows how much influence this character had in the Old Testament.
It's really weird to me.
Yeah.
I mean, not weird that he had influence. Weird that Ezekiel's like, yeah, hey, God told me that David's going to come take care of the flock. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
David, like that David? Or like David down the street? Like my friend David?
Right.
Like,
well, and I think it's really funny how I learned what I did know before coming into this podcast about the Bible. The Bible to me was just a bunch of like not really coherent stories about various things that happened in those times, right?
Okay.
Those times being biblical times, any time during, like I didn't know the difference, right?
Right.
Jesus, David, they could have all happened in the same fucking decade for all I knew.
Same.
It didn't make any difference to me when it all happened.
Right.
But they were just a bunch of like kind of bedtime stories that you would hear. Yeah. And I don't mean that they were bedtime stories. I'm sure there's a book out there that is exactly that. But they were just
like Noah's Ark. And,
yeah,
that kind of
very
thing. Adam and Eve,
very childlike, just fairy tale stories is how it kind of got dispersed to me,
right?
Through just social interaction with other people and everything else, right? Overhearing, yeah. So I don't know where I was going with that, except for that I don't feel like that there is a coherent message between this line of David and Jesus, and I feel like there's a lot of pieces missing. Huge fucking pieces missing. I feel like
there's huge pieces missing between the Torah stuff and the King stuff.
The King's Chronicles, all that crap.
Yeah. Like it stops being like story time and passing on the name.
Right.
And begatting. Yeah. And then it starts being like, okay, but now we're talking about the history of David. Ready, go. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's very different for sure.
Yeah. It's not great storytelling.
I think probably in that time, kings were trying to make names for themselves, and they were co-opting this religion to try to bring themselves forward, right? Mm-hmm. And so David obviously won out in the end for the most part, but like Solomon's up there, Samuel's up there.
Yeah.
Like there's some very famous quote unquote kings. Mm-hmm. They were kings, but I mean, they used religion to make their name bigger.
Or right? Some of them didn't.
Right. Yeah. No, some of them sucked. Like if you were a bad king, you're not going to get as much of a mention.
Except that they did, though. They didn't have like all the stories, and they were like mentioned as, and he was so evil and bad, and God didn't like that one, but they still get a mention.
Right, but I'm saying that the ones that don't get the ones that aren't David and Samuel and Solomon are ones that had worse PR teams, I guess. Like they didn't have people creating the right environment around what they were in relation to this religion.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I just find it interesting because these people took the recording of the names and the ancestry very seriously. So to me, it would have made more sense if they would have left the bad kings out. Like, ooh, burn. Like, the king who shall not be named during this reign, he was evil, so we don't talk about him.
Right, but I think the failing probably was that they were not exactly storytellers so much as chronologists. Right. They were chronicling. They were chronicling what was happening in history, and that's essentially what the Old Testament is once we get past the Torah, right? Yeah. We're just documenting what is happening with regard to their lives, and it's told from a biblical standpoint, a religious standpoint, but it is definitely very much a history of these kings and the happenings that are going on with regard to them getting conquered and everything else.
Right.
And it's just once we get past the initial part of the Bible that we started in, it just becomes a history of Israel, essentially.
Yeah. Just, I don't know. It like you said, it's not what I expected.
Right.
It's not what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's boring and sometimes it's weird. But let me continue.
Yes, please, please.
I, the Lord, according to Ezekiel, will be their God, and my servant David will be prince among them. So that wasn't just a one-off. Yeah. He's saying it again.
Yeah.
I, the Lord, have spoken. Okay.
Again, not the line of David, but David.
David. My servant David.
Right.
My dude David.
I'm interested in digging into this, the way it's phrased.
Yeah, me too. Like, I'm sorry, what did you mean by that, sir?
Right.
Yeah. I need a TARDIS so I can go back and like ask him like.
Wouldn't that be amazing? You could go back in time and ask these people, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, like when you say David, did you actually mean like the David?
Right.
Or did you mean some other David?
Yeah, because it gets a little confusing later in history, dude.
And then so you meant the David, so wasn't he already dead though?
Right.
So what did you mean by that?
Yeah. Yeah, what is that supposed to imply?
it was all symbolism and wasn't meant to be taken seriously. We weren't supposed to read it as though it's exact. We were supposed to understand that it's allegory and shit. Oh, fail.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you include those instructions?
Right, we're going to need this for future clarification.
Yeah, because They think that you're talking about David for realsies.
Well, they think you're talking about Jesus, who you don't even know anything about. So,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. God, according to Ezekiel, will make a covenant of peace with them and rid the land of savage beasts so that they may live in the wilderness and sleep in the forests in safety. I will make them and the places surrounding my hill a blessing. I will send down showers in season. There will be showers of blessing. The trees will yield their fruit and the ground will yield its crop. The hills are alive with the sound of music. Right?
And I have to comment here too, because we just got done talking about Jesus and stuff and the line of David and all that. But with regard to the prophecies that are happening right now, right? He's going to make everything peaceful and wonderful, and they're going to be grazing in the good hills and all that wonderful shit, right?
Recreating the Garden of Eden.
So let's just step into this for a second and assume that we're talking about Jesus, right?
Okay.
And so Jesus was killed by the Romans when he was here.
Yeah.
Right? Things weren't great for the Israelites, from what I understand.
Right.
They were conquered at that point.
Yeah.
They weren't on their own lands.
Right.
And so at that point in time, when this king of this line of David person, who is Jesus, apparently, according to Christians, was here on earth, things were not as God states here.
Right.
Right? This is not a completion of that prophecy. Now, I get that a lot of people are like, well, it's the second coming that's going to matter.
But he's not. He's just like, no, David's coming over.
Yeah.
He's not like, son of David is coming over twice.
Yeah, he's coming over, and then I'm going to have him like die, and then he's going to come again.
Like, that's not what he's saying here. He's just like, David's coming over.
Right. Yeah. Like, if we're prophesizing, let's prophesize, right? This is not a prophecy of what actually is even in the Bible from my standpoint.
No, I agree.
So, like, from my standpoint, if this is a prophecy of Jesus, Jesus should have brought the good when he came the first time.
Right.
But he didn't.
Right, exactly.
And if he didn't bring it and we're still waiting, this is a long fucking wait.
It's kind of ridiculous and silly.
Yeah.
And childish. And
it is. It
makes me like look at them like, really?
Well, in every generation,
years, y'all?
Every generation has thought that that this God is coming in their generation.
This is the apocalypse. It's the end of the world.
It's still happening.
Y2K.
It blows me away every time I hear somebody say that, the second coming, like they're going to be raptured. The second coming is the end of the world is coming. Like it's coming. Just, this is crazy talk.
I know.
It's fucking crazy talk. And it's not like, if you read this with any bit of just
curiosity, interest,
if you just question it a little bit,
right,
you find the flaws immediately.
Right.
And I just don't understand how this is something that is so prevalent in our culture as to where it actually takes over common sense and ruins things like science. And like we're still allowing a religion in this day and age where we have iPhones to tell us that these ideas of thousands of years ago are better than what we have come up with in the meantime.
Right.
I don't get it.
I'm like, well, if you think that's true, then why don't you go ahead and get rid of your car, your phone, your microwave?
Sure. Yeah.
Like all of your.
Well, some of them do. We've got there's still we got the Amish out there. I don't really know much about their religion, and that would be something I would be interested in finding out.
Sure. And the Quakers.
We've got the Quakers are not that way. That's
they're not.
No.
Okay.
German Baptists are somewhat that way.
Okay.
But yeah, it's mostly the Amish, the German Baptists. I can't remember. I think there are some other groups, but the Quakers are definitely not one of them.
Okay.
So that's a common misconception.
Well, that is what I'm here for.
I actually went to a Quaker church for like a week. So my mom was trying to introduce us to different churches and religions. Yeah. So
you went for a week. So now you are in the know.
I know enough to know that they are not that.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'm teasing you.
I didn't say I was in the know.
I'm teasing you. You're just, the way you said it was like, I went for a week. So
I wanted, so Quakers are actually oftentimes very liberal with their points of view as far as politics are concerned, because they're
community minded.
And they're very they do not ascribe to war of any type. Like they are very anti-war. So there's a lot of aspects to what they are that are different from some other groups of Christians out there. So
they seem like they actually live what they talk.
I would be interested in learning, like, I know a little bit about them. I would be interested in doing a dive into them a little bit more at some point, right, as I'm sure we will. Mm-hmm. I feel like a series of diving into denominations is due.
Yeah.
You know, so.
We got to get through Christianity first before we talk about the denominations.
I mean, it's all Christianity. That's all Christianity.
Yeah, I know.
It's just different groups of
No,
Christianity.
I understand that, but I'm just saying.
We'll do that series once we get to the New Testament.
That's what I meant.
Well, you said you'd get through Christianity. We're not through. Oh, we're not in Christianity yet.
I know that. Oh my God. Okay, so anyway, God is talking and he's like, I'm the best. I'm going to bring the Garden of Eden and it's going to be so pretty and happy and rainbows and Care Bears. The trees will yield their fruit and the ground will yield its crops. And you'll get a Care Bear stare, and it'll get on you, and you'll have rainbows in your brain.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The people will be secure in their land with lollipops. They will know that I am the Lord when I break the bars of their yoke and rescue them from the hands of those who enslave them, and when they can pick popcorn off of apricot trees.
You know, if God actually did come down and break the yoke off of me and free me from slavery,
that would be sweet.
I mean, that would inspire me to believe in him. Yeah. But that's not what actually is going to happen.
No.
So.
Nope. They will no longer be plundered by the nations, nor will wild animals devour them. They will live in safety, and no one will make them afraid. Oh, that sounds so pretty.
You know, I have to say that in this day and age, there's not a ton of people, I would imagine, at least in very populated areas, that get devoured by animals anymore.
Right, that is true. Although... isn't it in Australia where babies can get eaten by wild dingoes? Probably, yeah. And alligators eat dogs in Florida.
Yes, as we shared a video of that recently. But yeah, right? I want to go to Australia, but then again, like every time I think about going to Australia, the other thing that comes to mind is like there's the animals, the worst things that are down critters. There. Why would anybody go there? There's like a million things that can kill you.
I want to go to New Zealand.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty there.
Yeah, that was where Lord of the Rings was shot.
I know, and they made Stephen Colbert like an honorary member. Like they gave him a key to the city because he loves the Shire so much.
Yeah,
because he's in love with the Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, big time.
So I think that's cute.
Yep.
Amanda Palmer went and lived there during COVID.
Really?
She was kind of trapped a little bit.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I always wanted to go see New Zealand. I think it would be lovely.
Gotcha. Yeah.
God, says Ezekiel,
right,
will provide for them a land renowned for its crops, and they will no longer be victims of famine in the land or bear the scorn of their nations. Then they will know that I, the Lord their God, am with them.
It's so hypocritical. He is literally the one that caused those things.
Yeah.
Like he claimed that he caused those things, and now he's like, and now that I'm fixing them for you, you're gonna know my name is the Lord because I caused it and because I fixed it.
Yeah.
Right? Like
fear the Lord and really, also thank me.
Like it doesn't really matter what is going on. Whatever it is, I did it, and you're gonna know that I'm the Lord.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how this book goes.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. I am with them, and they, the Israelites, are my people, declares the sovereign Lord.
So we've heard.
Are they? You don't even know where half of them are.
Right.
And you're planning to kill like another 3/4 of them.
Yeah.
You are my sheep, the sheep of my pasture, and I am your God, declares the sovereign Lord.
The sovereign Lord, yeah.
The end.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I don't have much to add. That was just like, God is a dick. That I don't.
God is a dick.
We talked about a lot of stuff. I kind of lost track of what we were. I mean, it was just
he was just yelling at the
shepherds, right?
At the shepherds. Yeah.
Sorry,
saying you were bad leaders.
Right. I kind of got caught up in all the Jesus stuff. So
right.
Was like I got lost in that for a bit. So
it's interesting. The closer we get to the end of the Old Testament, the more it creeps in. But it's not that it creeps in so much as that we feel what was stolen from it.
Yeah. Well, and we had talked earlier on when we were doing this podcast that we didn't want to bring Jesus into it before we got to Jesus, right?
Right.
But I feel as we're going through these later chapters, these later books, you know, that it's kind of important that we mention it occasionally.
Like, that feels Jesus-y. Or like, oh, that's where Christians get that from.
Well, yeah, because it's very pertinent to what is probably going to be coming, right? Like, it feels like this is going to be something that, like, we know enough about the New Testament to know that this sounds like something that they're going to claim later on. Yeah. And so it seems important now to call out the bullshit where we see it. I mean, at some level, you know, like I want to acknowledge that we are still in the Old Testament and that technically no one in this fucking book thus far knows anything about Jesus, including the God of the Old Testament knows nothing about Jesus. He's talking about David.
Totally. He is up David's butt.
Yeah. And I know what the apologists are going to say. The apologists are going to say that David, as it's stated here, even though they're just saying the word David, is the line of David, and Jesus is the part of that. He's the line of David, is what it is.
Except that he's kind of not, though.
I know. We can't like actually say that because that would ruin their religion. So we can't ruin their religion, can we?
Fucking DNA. What you gonna do, science?
I guess we are kind of doing that.
We are.
So
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If your faith is strong enough, then I'm not ruining anything.
I guess I honestly don't know. Like, if you took the challenge, if you took the challenge to listen to us from episode 1 to now, and you listen to all the stuff that we have talked about, I honestly can't understand how you would still believe in God.
Yeah,
I really don't.
I don't either.
I've been here through this whole podcast, and I know that we started with an atheist slant, and we still have an atheist slant. But like the things that we are reading, I just can't fathom how somebody can accept them at face value.
Right.
It makes no sense. And the only other people that are telling you this differently is your pastor, who is cherry picking shit so that you don't have to think. You know, like, here is how this matches up with that, and this is why this is that. Which, okay, great. I can make anything fit if you want me to work hard enough at it.
Right.
We can correlate any two things and make them match up somehow. Yeah. I promise. I promise I can make that happen.
You can.
Generally. I'm sure somebody will come up with an example I can't, but you know.
You goober.
Anyway, that was Ezekiel chapter 34.
Sure as fuck was.
Which means that we'll be back tomorrow with
Ezekiel chapter 35.
All right. We'll see you guys then.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you know where the hell we are and how the hell we got here?
Well, we are running a little bit late.
A lot late.
So our podcast was supposed to release, technically it's Saturday now.
It's Saturday.
So it was supposed to release yesterday, sort of. Yeah. And we apologize.
Yes.
But we are getting this out. This will be, we just got done with Ezekiel chapter 34.
Well, we should say the reason that we are late is because the presidential debate was Thursday night, and rather than record, we spent time watching that.
Spoiler alert, Trump is still an asshole.
Yeah.
So there's that.
And Biden is still old.
Yeah, that too. And anyway, so last time we read Ezekiel chapter 34.
Sure as fuck did.
And in that chapter, God is telling his shepherds to kind of fuck off.
Sure.
He's like, dudes, you suck, and you're telling the wrong message to these people, and I'm taking over, and y'all are fucked. I'm going to starve you and then probably kill you.
And let the animals eat you, and I'm holding you responsible for all that these fuckers did wrong because you led them to it.
Right. And you know, there's punishment, and then there's punishment. And this is like the torture before the death type thing, which God seems to like to do.
The gleeful masochism.
It seems a bit much.
Yeah.
You know, I don't approve of his ways of managing his people.
I'm wife, and I don't approve this message.
No. Yeah, it's not good. So anyway, that was the gist of Ezekiel chapter 34.
Yes.
Which means that today we're getting into
Ezekiel chapter 35.
All right. And before we get into this, I do have one little side note that I want to mention because I can't let this pass without saying something about it.
Okay.
And that is that the asshole known as Ryan, what the hell is his name? Ryan
Seacrest?
No, he's the superintendent down in Oklahoma in Oklahoma City schools or whatever, or Oklahoma schools.
Fuck that dude.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't. You know what? I think it's Ryan Walters, but I don't even give a fuck about his name. He doesn't deserve to have his name mentioned. Mm-hmm. But at a recent meeting, they just declared that every teacher in the state of Oklahoma is going to be required to read and teach the Bible in school.
Yeah, because they want it to reflect the importance of how Christianity helped found our nation.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, like, dudes.
I hate. I mean, this is just. It's just these people are seeking the limelight, right? Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, this shit really gets attention. I'm gonna throw my name in the ring. And,
even if I lose, it doesn't matter.
And, even if I lose, it doesn't matter because they're like. The Christians will love this. You know, the right-wing Christians. The crazed Christians.
The MAGA Christians.
That are all for making our fucking country a theocracy.
Yeah.
You know, they feed on this and they're like, ooh, what can I do to up the ante here?
Right.
And it just pisses me off.
And
like, this is going to go nowhere. It's not even a fucking law.
It does go somewhere because it normalizes
you're right.
this situation so that by the 10th time it happens, we no longer give a shit because we're like,
numb.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
And then one squeaks through and we're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's how this happens.
No, I'm well aware of what is happening and why it's happening. It's just, I had to say something because we can't let these things just keep passing without doing and saying something about them. So let that fucker know what you think of him and let Oklahoma tell Oklahoma no fucking way.
No fucking way.
We have to say something.
Yep.
And anyway, I'm off my high horse here. We're going to get on with the Bible.
Let's get on with the Bible.
So we were in 34, and now we are getting into...
Ezekiel 35.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, we are hopping into Ezekiel chapter 35, or as I like to call it, Ezekiel.
You took over my changing it to Ezekiel.
Sure as fuck did.
Yeah.
Yep.
What the hell's up with that?
Because I didn't appreciate it, so I took it away from you. This is my game. We play by my rules.
Oh, okay.
And you're always wrong.
Okay, yeah. There is that.
All right. The word of the Lord came to me.
Ezekiel, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Son of man.
You mere human.
You fucking worm. Set your face against Mount Seir. Prophesy against it and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says.
Mount Seir. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm against you, Mount Seir.
Okay.
And I'll stretch out my hand against you and make you a desolate waste. Okay, I'm going to interrupt him for a second, and I'm going to come over here to talk about Mount Seir for a minute.
I was about to ask because I have no idea what the fuck we're talking about here.
I don't know exactly where it is. I was going to maybe cover that more in like a Q&A kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there was a note that said Ezekiel's oracle against Edom, so I guess it's Edom.
Yep.
Is a brief condemnation of Israel's neighbor for taking advantage of Israel's broken condition.
Okay.
The motivation for locating a second, or not for locating, the motivation for doing this more vehement condemnation than the one he already did.
Right.
It's like really weirdly placed.
Sure.
Say the people.
Well, and like when he condemned them before, we were talking about the Edomites and Edom. You know, we were talking specifically. We didn't say Mount Seir,
right?
So that's a weird way to reference it.
Yeah,
and I'm not really sure why we did that, but okay.
Yeah, it's very weird.
I mean, sometimes they do reference things geographically, which okay. I mean, I can be down with that, I guess.
Right.
But why do we have the different ways of referencing it in the same book?
Yeah.
It does that specifically doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It really doesn't, because a lot of times you can tell the authorship of particular sections by how the terms they use and whatever, how they refer to something. Like if they say, like 50 years or a lifetime.
Right.
Like that will
Which doesn't lend to the idea that Ezekiel wrote this entire book. Right. Right. I mean, and we don't specifically know. I think you dug into this a little bit before we started this, but most people say that, generally, probably Ezekiel wrote this sort of, but other people might have also done stuff.
There was a lot of editing and redacting later.
Yeah.
So he may have written the original bits.
But it's been chopped to bits.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, you can tell, I think, by the way this is phrased right here.
No, I agree.
All right. So God is continuing to speak according to Ezekiel, who goes on to say, I, God, will turn your towns into ruins, and you will be desolate. Then you will know that I'm the Lord.
Oh, yeah. That destruction shit always tells me that somebody's the Lord.
Never not be afraid.
Yep.
Never not be afraid. Because you harbored an ancient hostility, like the one we discussed several chapters ago, and delivered the Israelites over to the sword at the time of their calamity, the time their punishment reached its climax.
Hold on just a fucking second. The Edomites delivered the Israelites over to their calamity. Right? That's what they just said.
Over to the sword.
Right, to the sword.
At the time of their calamity.
At the time of their calamity. Okay. Mm-hmm. But this is God's sword. This is the sword of the Lord. This is God bringing this destruction on Israel for their own misconduct. Right? Yes. So why does he give a fuck if somebody's helping the sword of the Lord?
I don't know.
This is the thing he is doing. This is the action he has deemed necessary. Mm-hmm. So why is it specifically because he didn't reach out to the Edomites and say, "Hey, I need your help"?
Right.
Is that what this is about?
I don't know, because he didn't talk about the Canaanites like this.
Right. Well, he doesn't. Babylon doesn't even worship, Yahweh as a god, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody in Babylon claims that they heard from God and that's why they're doing this.
Right.
I've certainly not heard that in the Bible, and I wouldn't believe it even if they said it. But that's not what's happening here. He's claiming that he made these people do this thing.
And then got mad at them for doing it.
Right, but only because this wasn't specifically the people that he was using as his sword, right? It's just this random other group of people that merely maybe capitulated a little bit to this massive force that was coming at them to help them destroy the Israelites so that maybe they didn't get destroyed quite as much.
Right.
Right? So whatever. Like, I don't really blame them that much.
No.
If you see imminent doom on the horizon, you do what you can to not die, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna end rant. That pissed me off.
God's a dick. Fuck Yahweh.
Yeah. If we should be mad at anybody for sending the sword towards the Israelites, it's gonna be God.
Yeah.
He's the one that said he did it.
Yeah. Multiple times.
Well, yeah.
So because you harbored an ancient hostility and delivered the Israelites over to the sword at the time of their calamity, the time their punishment reached its climax, therefore, as surely as I live, which,
again,
do you though?
Right, yeah.
Declares the sovereign Lord, I will give you over to bloodshed and it'll pursue you. Because,
Yeah.
Pain.
Yep.
Pain.
We love that bloodshed in the Bible.
Since you did not hate bloodshed, bloodshed will pursue you. Hold on. I don't hate mountain lions. Does that mean mountain lions are going to come after me and pursue me?
No.
Yeah, that's just a poorly phrased sentence. I don't care for it. Because this equals that.
Yeah.
No, that's not correct, sir.
Right.
You did that wrong.
Well, and who exactly is it that doesn't hate that likes bloodshed or whatever in Edom, right? Or Seir or whatever.
He may be also referring to some of their idolatry and
whatever.
But I'm saying what an apologist might say,
sure.
Okay. You probably are saying that they, did child sacrifices or whatever.
But I just like to point out that we're taught generally in society not to speak in generalizations, not to speak in, putting everybody in the same basket, right? Mm-hmm. You can't speak to an entire culture and expect it to hold true for everybody, right? So he's saying we're going to destroy you guys, but who exactly is it their leadership? Is it their everybody on the ground? Everybody there was for this? Who is it exactly that we're destroying? And why are we destroying? I think these things matter.
Right.
Right? If we're going to destroy people and we're going to fucking kill them, because you're God and you're fucking petty. Mm-hmm. What is your reason? I need to know your reason, and I need to know.
Is this a genocide, or are you going to have a remnant over there, or
are you calling out 5 people, or what's going on?
The whole town.
Yeah.
What about the babies, wives, and animals? Because you tend to not like those guys.
Yeah, and when you get on a killing spree, you tend to kill everything.
Right.
Sort of. You kill everything, but then you come back later and say, well, but I'm going to let some of them go. So you don't kill everything, but you like to say
you claim
you kill everything.
Yeah.
So
you sure claim that state.
God is a little confused often, I feel, and very much overreactive to situations that arise. Mm-hmm. And that's my assessment here. Sorry, I interrupted and then I just went off. So I apologize.
You are in a mood, sir.
I mean, yeah.
But, God brings it out the best of you. God, according to Ezekiel, will make Mount Seir a desolate waste and cut off from it all who come and go.
Okay.
I will fill your mountains with the slain. Those killed by the sword will fall on your hills.
Is that
in your valleys and all your ravines?
So is the mountain kind of like a Twinkie filled with bodies?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I just that was the imagery that was going through my head. I had to say it, so
that's a big Twinkie.
That's it,
Ghostbusters,
Yeah.
Tell them about the Twinkie.
Right.
Of course, and then there's Zombie Land where
I love the snowballs
Twinkie.
In there. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. God, according to Ezekiel, will make you fucking desolate forever.
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 Forever, ever?
Forever, ever. Your towns will not be inhabited.
Okay.
Then you'll know
that he is a dick.
That I'm the Lord. How are you going to know it if you're dead?
I was wrong. I didn't get that one right, apparently.
I don't understand.
I think I might be right, though.
You're righter than this book.
Right.
Because how are they going to know that you're the Lord if they are not alive to know the thing?
Right. I've questioned that multiple times. I don't get it.
It deserves repeating every time.
Yeah.
All right. Because you have said, these two nations and countries will be ours, and we will take possession of them, even though the Lord was there. Therefore, as surely as I live, declares the sovereign Lord, I will treat you in accordance with the anger and jealousy you showed in your hatred of them, and I'll make myself known among them when I judge you.
Okay.
Then you will know that I, the Lord, have heard all the contemptible things you said against the mountains of Israel. Okay, hold on. I got a note here.
Okay.
So where it said, because you said, Edom, that these two nations and countries will be ours and we're going to take possession of them.
Assuming they're talking about Israel and
Judah. Yeah. So that's what this suggests, that the Edomites plan to take possession of Israel and Judah following the Israelites exiled to Babylon.
Well, sure. I mean, if the land's empty, why wouldn't you, move in, right?
Especially because these guys were frenemy cousin kind of things.
Yeah.
So,
and besides, apparently, according to this chapter, they probably made some sort of a deal with the Babylonians, right?
Right.
And so they're friendlier towards the Babylonians.
Sure.
The Israelites in Judah were rebelling against the Babylonians,
right?
Or the whatever they were. The who was the other tribe that was? Shit, I can't remember now.
Those astronomer guys.
Yeah, the astronomer guys. I can't remember the name.
Starts with a C.
Yeah. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't come up with it.
We'll never see that word again.
No, I know, right? But. So they made a pact, and then why wouldn't you move in, right? I don't understand the problem here. They avoided getting slaughtered by Babylon.
Right.
And they're reaping the benefits, that's all.
This is like two best friends, right? And they're fighting over a boy, right? And then one of them is like, okay, you can date him, and then is like, just kidding, never date him. And then but then goes ahead and dates him herself. Yeah. And then, so the other one is like, oh, I guess he wants her, right? And even though he was going to be with me because she said, but then she, took it back. And so they're together now. And so she goes and dates the other girl's brother. And then the girl is like, how dare, never, I'll kill you forever, and blood on mountains and stuff. Right, that's what this feels like, though, right? Yeah. Three-way fucking high school drama.
Oh, yeah. No, if there's anything that is true, it's that God is very petty.
Yeah.
And I don't begrudge the Edomites for seeing the wind that's blowing and making a decision to try to not die, right? The Israelites, the Judah, they died in mass and also got exiled from their land. And God claims that he was the one that did this, but apparently Edom decided that, it was better to talk to Babylon, so less of them died.
Right.
It sounds like they made a good deal there to me.
Yeah, but
who am I to judge,
I guess their God was better, huh?
I don't know. Well, I mean, God says he's going to destroy the Edomites, so whatever. I don't know if that's actually true or not.
Yeah,
but,
I don't either. That's a Q&A type of thing. I have no idea.
I kind of feel like all the people that lived out in that area are just like one kind of sort of the same people.
Right.
With probably even worshipped similarly at a individual level.
Right.
They might have had different types of priests in those areas, but like they all kind of had...
The altar in each town was painted a different color or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. And so I don't feel like they really... They felt like that was probably... They were entitled to that area just as much as the Israelites, maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. The whole thing is stupid.
Yeah.
You said, continued God, according to Ezekiel,
okay,
they have been laid waste and have been given over to us to devour. You boasted against me and spoke against me without restraint, and I heard it. That's what he's really mad about.
Well, right, because he doesn't like it when that happens.
Yeah, and you talking shit over there. I'm going to kill you hard.
Yep.
This is what the sovereign Lord says.
Okay.
While the whole earth rejoices, I'll make you desolate.
While the whole earth rejoices, huh?
Just that one section of earth, but yes, the whole earth.
You ever been privy to the whole earth rejoicing?
No, because I'm aware that it's a globe, not a flat disc.
right. Yeah.
So no. Turtles all the way down.
I'm just imagining the American Native Indians.
Native Americans.
Sorry, my bad. Were just all of a sudden broke out in joy and jubilation because. The Edomite side. Yeah, yay!
Entirely different continent, have no idea what's happening, but just joy fell upon them.
Yeah.
Whoa, did you feel that happy wave last night? I did. What do you think that was about? I don't know, probably some fucking berries or shit. Whatever.
Right.
Because you rejoiced when the inheritance of Israel became desolate, that's how I'm going to treat you.
Okay.
You will be desolate. Desolation, you're going to have it because desolate means desolation. And I'm going to give you desolation for how desolate you were desolating them.
Yeah. I feel like somebody, the New Testament must have come about because somebody was reading through this Old Testament and being like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This fucker is like an asshole.
Yeah.
We need to change the messaging here.
Yeah. We can't
They probably even said Jesus Christ. They're like, hey, we should use that.
Right? and then they were like, you know what? We can't even use the same God. We've got to paint a whole new picture.
Oh, yeah.
So they were like, we got to humanize him a little bit. And so that's why there's that whole Trinity thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why the Holy Ghost. I don't know why there had to be three.
I mean,
it could have been a duality.
That's only Catholicism, really. They were mainly Catholicism.
That's not true.
Well, but that's what most people associate it with.
That's what they associate it with. But Southern Baptists, they're all into the Trinity. Okay. My parents are Southern Baptist, and they will tell you about the Holy Trinity.
Really?
It's not just Catholics.
Never heard that before.
No.
Huh. Okay.
They all are about it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, because actually, I was going to church with them a little bit, and somebody was trying to explain it to me, and they used the ice cube principle, which is that water can be in multiple forms at once, but it's all the same, ice versus water versus vapor.
Yeah, I heard you tried to tell me that one time.
Yeah,
because
you were what is Trinity? What does that even mean? And I'm like, it's a character in the Matrix. Trinity. She's a badass motherfucker.
Right.
All right, so anyway, desolation, blah, blah, blah. They're all happy over there because you're stupid. Because you rejoiced when the inheritance of Israel became desolate, that's how I'm going to treat you. You'll be fucking desolate, Mount Seir, you and all of Edom. Then they will know that I'm the Lord.
Yeah.
The end.
Oh, okay. You were absolutely right. I did a quick search while we were finishing up there, and it is obviously Catholic, but Protestant. A lot of mainline Protestant denominations,
which is basically every Christian that isn't Catholic is Protestant.
Right. So, and then evangelical churches including Baptist and Pentecostal. I've heard it called Pentecostal?
Pentecostal.
I'm not sure how you pronounce it exactly.
I always heard it Pentecostal.
Well, I've been listening to Seth Andrews a little bit, and he always says Pentecostal. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that's just his way of like, jabbing at it or whatnot, but it makes me curious as to the actual pronunciation.
Interesting. So when you said, no, but that's what people associate it with, just the Catholics, you meant just you.
So me personally, I take back what I said.
Okay.
Me personally, I didn't know that it was anything but Catholic. So I had no idea, honestly.
I think it's funny, the more that we learn, the more that we unlearn stuff that we thought because we didn't know any better.
Yeah. I don't know that does me any, like, logistical good with how I view religion or anything.
No, but it's just one more little thing that you're aware of now. Sure.
Yeah. At least I can understand when I hear it that it might not be just Catholic. So that does help with understanding situations and where I hear that. So
exactly.
That's a plus, I guess.
Yep.
So, yeah, I almost get sick of saying how much God is an asshole and a dick, right?
Because it's repetitive.
Yeah, but like every chapter recently feels like we've been talking about desolation, death, and retribution and jealousy that God has towards people not listening to him and stuff.
Tribalism and...
Yeah. And I'm just... It's really, really childish. Like the whole scenario that is set up with regard to how God treats these people is just a childish reaction to not really... there's nothing that rises to the level of the retribution that he enacts on them.
You know what it makes me realize, though, is given that this whole God thing was written by people, it really gives you insight into how petty the people were.
Yeah.
No, they were like, I'm going to kill you back so hard.
It would be really interesting to read the Bible from the perspective of a historical document as to how people reacted to things back then and leaving the God aspect out of it. I think that would actually make for an interesting...
It would. So the people back then in this area of the world were super petty. They fought over land.
They were very tribal. They were very, and they fought...
And retribution was a big deal, and protecting their family name, and they would kill the fuck out of you. And
yeah, if we could take a step back from God and admit that these ideas are not God ideas, right?
Right.
And just say that they're human ideas, it would shine a whole new light, not a new light, but it would shine a different perspective on viewing this whole idea that is Christianity and Judaism and the history of it, and how people were reacting to essentially politics and war back then. And it was with a lot of anger, and it was with a lot of, they wanted revenge. They wanted revenge.
Always.
And that was the biggest thing that I can take from all this is that they all want to kill each other real bad.
Except for like the people that are in trade, like the cities that built themselves up. They were like, dudes, we just want to live in peace.
Yeah, could you guys just stop this shit? It's fucking boring.
Yeah, like I'm just trying to like dance with my Asherah pole and buy some, I don't know, fucking wheat and sell some goddamn corn.
I feel like it's a very, good comparison to what we're dealing with today, right? Most of us, as far as, the left wing and the liberals are just like, we're just trying to do our thing, guys. Could you just like step off with the religion shit?
Right.
We don't need all this crap. And we don't need your hatred towards all the different people. Like, what is this? Like, why are you doing this?
Right. Like, I just want to be like, can you just tell me what is so mean in your heart that you literally take a stance against everybody doesn't deserve health care? Like, why though? We can afford for everybody to have it. Why would we not all... Like, that's cool, right? Like, everybody on the planet could have good medical, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
We could actually, like, we Earthlings, humankind.
Yeah.
We could achieve that if we all, like, pulled together and did it.
Right.
That would be amazing. Yeah. Who fights against that and, like, says it with a straight face? Yeah, I don't want some people to have medical.
I don't
You're naive and childish. Like, what is naive and childish about, like, But I don't want them to die of cancer over there or starvation over there.
Well, you say it in the intro, right? You have more empathy than this God is capable of.
Right.
Right? And I think that applies to a lot of people in the world. Mm-hmm. This God of the Bible has like zero empathy. He's not able to put himself in the shoes of his people or any other people on the planet and adapt to his teachings to make that better.
And lo and behold, the people attracted to him also have no empathy.
Right. Well, and that's there's. I think I'm. This is very off the cuff, and I'm just like quoting something that I kind of remember from a while back. But there have been, I think, studies with regard to either.
I know what you're talking about.
Right wing Christian, like the far right. And maybe Christians, right? And I don't know. I don't want to say this with authority.
No, but I understand what you're talking
about. They operate more on their fear than they do on empathy. And people that are like us, that are
more left-wing, progressive, liberal,
they operate more on empathy than they do on fear.
Right.
Right. So it's different parts of the brains that are activated in these two types of people. And that's what causes a lot of the reactions and the differences that we have in society. I don't know how we fix that. And I think that a lot of it is due to how much you expose yourself to these fearful ideas or let yourself become fearful of ideas that are out there. But some of it may be just who you are.
I always think it's a lack of curiosity too, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's got to be curiosity because, like, I was not raised to have any idea that there were other opinions, much less that they were valid.
Sure.
But I was so curious. Like, I want to learn everything. If I'm going to say I am this thing, then I want to know everything about what is it that I'm saying.
Right.
Like, I was thinking today on my way home that, maybe I want to start watching, like, women's basketball. Like, I honestly, like, it's so in the news right now.
Sure.
But then I was like, okay, so I need, this is the thought in my head as I'm driving home, right? I should look at all the teams and like pick a team and then like learn everything about like each player. And I don't know anything about how they get picked. And then I was like, do I want to do college women's basketball or do I want to do pro women's? And what about if I like learned other, like, I'm like thinking about this because I'm curious. I don't even fucking like sports. What is wrong with me?
Yeah. I don't know.
But I'm curious. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I want to know things. And if you don't have that curiosity.
Sure.
And I think curiosity and empathy are linked.
I completely agree. I mean, if you have empathy, you want to put yourself in someone else's shoes so that you can understand their life better and then react to it appropriately. Right. And if you don't have curiosity, then I think you're right. They are linked, right? It's that curiosity is kind of what drives you to that empathy. Like, why is that person doing that? Well, let me think about it from their perspective,
right? And
kind of go from there.
Like, if you have one, you're bound to develop the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and something we always say too is that we never want to stop learning, right?
No, yeah,
that's
totally.
a big thing. Is I think that if you decide that you know it all, you have stopped growing completely. You're not contributing anything to the furtherment of ideas or society at that point, in my opinion.
Right.
Because you have just decided that you are correct. And that is not any way to operate in the world.
No. I think the more that generations have kind of defined themselves, like everybody knows the boomers, right?
Right.
And all their faults.
Sure.
Right? Like, we see what they are, and there are some of us, me among them, who are like, please never let me be like that. Never let me stop. Like, never let me be done taking in new information.
Yeah, and to be fair, I'm gonna be completely fair here, and that's that I see a lot of atheists and liberals that have very closed-minded ideas about what they are as well.
Yes,
not as many as are on the right, but
correct.
They do exist on the liberal and atheist sides of things.
Yeah.
And
it's more often than not men, because I think misogyny is just so ingrained in our culture that it transcends.
It really does. It really does. Yeah. I mean, that's why, That's why a lot of things. I don't.
That's why a lot of things.
We could go on all night about misogyny, I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole right now.
Yeah, because then we could also talk about how like Hollywood and art are liberal, and like they get kicked around for being like, oh, those liberals, and it's like, yeah, sure. But that's because people who have empathy are more in tune with the arts. And people in the arts are more in tune with empathy. You have to have empathy to be creative. Now, I do believe, I think, based on my knowledge of a lot of people in my life and just observations in general, right? Mm-hmm. I think that maybe as you get older, you start thinking you know more than everybody else. Well, yeah. Like you have all that experience behind you. Right. So ideas do start solidifying in your brain more so than they did at an earlier age. Mm-hmm. I think that one of the things that if you want to keep progressing and keep learning, that's very important to hold on to as you get older, is that just know that you're stupid. Know that you don't know everything. And be okay with that. And be okay with it. Like, I don't care who you are. There's something you know nothing about. There's something that you think you know something about, but you don't actually know it. Right. Those things apply to every single person on this planet. I don't care how smart you are. You have something that you're failing at. Well, I think with empathy comes humbleness. Yeah. The ability to be humble. I mean, God, like this, it so gets into like psychology and, philosophy. Yeah, definitely. Ugh, we're so far off topic. We really are. So I think you ready to wrap this up for tonight? I am. All right. Yes. So that was Ezekiel chapter 35. Sure as fuck was. Before we hop out of here, I do want to say that we are still going to be behind going into this weekend. Mm-hmm. So the episode for our Q&A is going to be coming out probably late on, today, Saturday. Mm-hmm. And then... you did not let me sing the jingle for it, and I'm very upset about it. I'm so sorry. Yeah, our next episode is... Yeah, our next episode is... Q&A Saturday. That is right. Because there are people who look forward to my jingles. And then, there are. Yeah. And then on Sunday, at some point, once we get done getting... caught up, we've been way behind on getting a Patreon. That's right. Also, yes. And then I'll get the weekly wrap up out, and then we'll be back on schedule. Hopefully, I think every one of our fans must know at this point that weekends are like our catch point. We always fall apart on the weekends. Yeah. And we can't keep up with everything we intend to do. But we always come back. We do. Yeah. Yes. Fall down. What is it? Fall down 99 times, get up 100. That's right. And that's what we do. Yeah. And I'll also probably be putting out a Substack this weekend too. Mm. So for those of you who haven't subscribed to our newsletter, you can hop over to our website. And I did confirm, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the main page, there is a subscribe button that will take you to our Substack subscription page. Cool. I definitely recommend that. It does take you to a page where it does ask for money, but we don't require that. Everything that we put out on Substack will be free. We definitely appreciate any support anybody's able to give us, but anything on Substack will be free except for, I think you have to pay if you want to chat or something like that, or respond like in comments or something like that. But you can always read everything we put out there. Yeah. So hope to see you guys there. Discord lives on Tuesdays at 10. Right. So join us in all the places, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for our Q&A. Yeah. Bye. Husband. Wife. What are we doing today? Well, today is actually Sunday, but we're going to pretend like it's still Saturday. So we're doing our Q&A Saturday, but on a Sunday. That's right. And what are we Qing and Aing today? We are covering chapters 31 through 35 of Ezekiel. Okay. All right. You got some good questions for us today? I got some mediocre questions for us today. That's not a good sell. The fuck? I have some... These are... What you say is these are amazing questions. Stick around and find out. I have some very exciting questions that I cannot wait to get into. There we go. See, I'm teaching wife how to podcast live on our fucking podcast. I'm sorry. It's amazing. You're right. You ready to do this? I am so excited to do this. Yes. Let's do it. Okie dokie. All right, we are hopping into our Q&A for Ezekiel chapters 31 through 35. All right. And the first question that we had came from chapter 32. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to read you a couple of verses here, and then we will talk about what?
Okay, sure.
So we're starting with verse 28 through 31. Okay?
Got it. Yep.
You too, Pharaoh, will be broken and will lie among the uncircumcised with those killed by the sword. Edom is there, her kings and all her princes. Despite their power, they are laid with those killed by the sword. They lie with the uncircumcised, with those who go down to the pit.
Those damn uncircumcised.
I know.
Yeah.
All the princes of the north and all the Sidonians are there. They went down with the slain and disgrace, despite the terror caused by their power. They lie uncircumcised with those killed by the sword, and bear their shame with those who go down to the pit. And then here is verse 31. This is the important bit, okay? Pharaoh, he and all his army will see them, and he will be consoled for all his hordes that were killed by the sword.
We did have a question about that. We were like, why was he consoled? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, we did not understand. We thought maybe it was like a mistranslation or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is what I found about that. Okay?
Yeah.
Other nations that formerly terrified others and that Ezekiel has already denounced, such as Edom and Sidon, now lie useless and dishonored, right?
Sure.
So all of these places are like already down in the pit.
Yeah.
Okay. Egypt will finish in the same place and join them in the pit.
Sure.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
The only comfort for Egypt will be to learn that, well, it's not the only nation to suffer such a humiliating end.
Oh, that's the okay.
It's a sarcastic it's like saying, well, I got my hand chopped off, but on the bright side,
so it's a
I
brag.
still have my left one.
It's a fucking Bible brag. Like the Bible's like, you can be consoled that you're going to die like everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. So Ezekiel ironically mentioned some small comfort that would come to Pharaoh on the day he entered hell. The comfort would come from knowing he was not the only one to suffer such shame and disgrace in the judgment.
Let's clarify. Hell is not really defined as hell as we know it today.
Right.
With regard to Christianity.
The pit. Right.
Yeah.
So Pharaoh's going to find himself in the company of every kind of fallen greatness.
Okay.
So
it's like when we talk about hell now, we're like, well, we'll be there with some good company. Yeah.
I'll be in good company.
Right.
Yeah. The prophet's declaration that Pharaoh shall see them and shall be comforted is appalling, however, as it reveals that the only comfort that can come to him is the profound sense of the operation of infinite justice in the punishment of all, himself included, who have been guilty of the abominations which have issued in the judgment of God. Okay. So it's not really a comfort.
Yeah.
But
okay, again, these people don't actually even believe in this God, so it doesn't really strike me as something that they are even fearing at all or give two shits about.
Right.
You know, like this is more of a brag to their own people. Like these people are going to do this and they're going to die, and like it's the same it's the same feeling I get from when someone on Twitter or something comes on one of my posts and they're like, you're gonna burn in hell, and then it's like almost gleeful the way that they say it, right? They're like, you are going to suffer eternally and I'm happy about it.
Right. And it's like, okay, if I believed in that, it might be a problem, but I don't. So that's the first part.
Right.
Okay, so I don't care because it's not real.
Yeah.
The second part is, wait, you're excited about that though?
That's the part I never get. I'm like, you're a fucking Christian. You're self-proclaimed a Christian.
Yeah.
And you are gleefully accepting the fact that I will suffer for all eternity, and you seem happy about it.
Right.
That is not, it feels like your religion might have missed a step in teaching you how to care about people.
Yeah.
I'm just, maybe they didn't quite get the whole message across to you. I don't know. You don't seem very like, what people would say Christian-like.
Yeah.
You know?
It's kind of mean to laugh at people regardless of what they've done, but to laugh at them because they're gonna suffer for eternity, according to you.
Right. If you think I had any interest in being a Christian before, you've certainly ruined anything by now.
Right.
The fact that you are this much of an asshole, it makes me think that your religion sucks,
You
dude.
don't speak well of your group over there.
Right. Yeah, you're not representing well.
Like, are you the representative that they sent to convince me? Bad. They did bad. You're the best that they could get, huh?
Yeah.
Are you God's chosen spokesperson? That makes me think that your God is crap.
To be fair, it usually happens. Not always. Sometimes they just throw it out right off the cuff. But right off the bat. But it usually happens after you've been trying to argue with them for a while, and they're like, well, you're going to burn in hell. And it's like, okay.
When they're like, I can't come up with any more responses, so fuck you and die.
Right.
Forever.
Yeah.
In pain.
Like, okay, man, whatever.
Right. Like, and you're ugly too, and I fucked your mom.
I mean, that's the basically the epitome of what it means. So when they do that, you know, that's what they're saying. So
yeah.
Only in a quote unquote biblical sense or religious sense. Sure. Yeah.
Moker. All right. So our next question, was that satisfactorily answered?
Yeah.
Consolation.
Insofar as, you know, it is what it is.
It made it make more sense.
It does make more sense. Yeah. I was thinking of it as like literal interpretation.
Right.
But
instead of sarcasm.
It is more like the person yelling at me on Twitter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the quickest way I can describe it, I guess.
God be trolling.
Yeah, right. Ezekiel, whatever. Or the rewriter of Ezekiel, whoever it was, but somebody.
Somebody in the Bible be trolling.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I need that on a shirt. Bible be trolling. All right. Our next question came from Ezekiel chapter 34.
Okay.
And I'm going to again read a couple of verses. Number 23 and 24.
Okay.
I will place over them one shepherd, my servant David.
Yeah.
And he will tend them. He will tend them and be their shepherd. I, the Lord, will be their God, and my servant David will be prince among them. I, the Lord, have spoken.
Yeah, and we were curious about whether he knew the David line had ended. We were also curious about, like, what the fuck does that actually mean? Because a lot of people are going to tie this to Jesus, and there was lots of questions.
Or is this a re-risen David?
Right,
like,
yeah, the zombie David version or whatever. So
zombie David, pre-Jesus, or just didn't know David was dead.
Yeah, so I am very curious here.
Yeah. So David, king of Israel, had been dead upwards of 400 years at the time that this thing was said.
Can't be that David.
Yeah. And from that time till now, not now today, but now
then
when it was written,
right?
There was never a ruler of any kind, either in the Jewish church or state, of the name of David.
Okay.
So when we say David, we're speaking of that
David and Goliath David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This then must be some typical person that they're referring to, just any old David, right?
Right.
Can't be a king. Most Christian apologists believe that this reference to David is really a reference to the Messiah, the son of David, fulfilled in Jesus Christ.
Right, and that's what I was saying that Christians would say. But I find that very not in line with what the text of the Old Testament is, because we are literally discussing Babylon, right? The conquering happenings of Babylon. And if you take Jeremiah and Ezekiel at their word, this is what we're discussing, right?
Yeah.
And Jeremiah, at the very least, says that we are going to be held captive for 70 years. Or, you know, the Israelites are going to be held captive for 70 years. And then they're going to return to their homeland, right?
Yeah.
And Ezekiel hints at some of the same ideas, doesn't give the 70-year deal.
Right.
But because he doesn't say that, I think that's why it's allowed to be interpreted as the line of David and later. But we are still talking about Babylon, and Babylon did not hold this conquering set for much longer than 70 years.
Right.
So it doesn't make sense to me that this would be referencing something that happens, you know, let's see, it would be about 600 years in the future.
Yeah. No.
And even at that, we talked about this while we were talking about this section in the Bible, and that's that even when Jesus is there in the New Testament, from what we know,
we haven't read it yet.
Right. That is not a return to greatness. It is just merely Jesus came down and then died for everyone's sins.
Right.
But they were conquered by the Romans at the time. They weren't in their own land running their own show.
Right.
They hadn't done any of that. So the only thing it could really reference, if we are discussing the Jesus of the New Testament, would be the second coming, as they say, right? Or
the Jewish first coming, which hasn't happened yet because they don't believe in
so from Jesus. A Jewish perspective, it could be the first coming, right? Their
Messiah, as they see it.
And I could see how that could be interpreted that way or the other way, but I still feel like this is a line of David. Like, I feel like this is more in the moment, because I don't know that Ezekiel, we don't know if Ezekiel knows that the line of David is even run out yet.
That's something else that came up in my notes. He might not have known.
Yeah. So he may just assume that the line of David is going to continue, and then whoever the next king is going to be, that will be the line of David, and that's going to continue Israel, whatever kingdom and the
right,
all the good shit.
There'll always be a remnant hanging on through the years, and out of that will come David's whatever descendant.
Yeah. And that's how if I were to pick a version, that's the version I would say is probably most likely.
I would say either that one or belief in a future Messiah that still today in 2024 has not come.
Sure. Yeah.
Because they do believe that even today.
They do.
So
they do.
I know. That fits with their beliefs.
I know. I feel like everything that we've read in these chapters, though, in these books, Jeremiah and Ezekiel especially, have been more centered around what is happening in the very near future as opposed to the very distant future.
I agree. I agree with you on that. So to go back to where I was, Christian apologists think that David is a reference to Jesus or whatever.
Yeah.
And they would say the same of many other passages which speak of David's future rule over Israel. So basically, anytime the word David comes up, you're supposed to replace it with Jesus in a Christian mind.
I think that's probably problematic. I mean, we have referenced the David line before, and it definitely references things that were like prior to this.
Yeah,
it referenced things that we could kind of nail down as to what they probably were talking about.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that might become problematic.
But anytime they're talking about future David coming back, that's Jesus.
Okay,
it's Jesus. It's Jesus. Did you know it's Jesus?
You know, if God is so prophetic and telling these people exactly what's going to happen, you think he'd be able to know the dude's name. Well, what are you going to name your son, dude? Not son of David. It's gonna you're gonna have a name apparently. So it's going to be Jesus.
There is nothing in these texts themselves that demand that it is the Messiah and not David. So there's that.
Yeah.
Now, in this particular passage, David is not even described as a king, but in a lesser office. Prince.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, but they've been using prince to describe kings throughout.
Yes.
So.
Yes. The idea, again, according to a Christian apologist, is that this is when Jesus, the Messiah, is king over all the earth, and David rules Israel as a prince under him.
Oh, so like all the people are coming back. It's not just Jesus coming back. David's going to come back with them, and maybe they'll bring Moses along.
Zombie David, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Although Moses didn't make it in because he had to stop outside of the Promised Land, so maybe he can't. Maybe he can't come to the party. I don't know.
Now here's something interesting. The word David means beloved in Hebrew, and so it had a prophetic meaning referring to the Messiah. While the term David is used in this verse, it is typically understood as a symbolic reference to a descendant of David who will fulfill the role of a shepherd over God's people.
Again, I feel like that's a very apologist take. And I
because
think
they did not know this as they were writing this shit.
Right. And I think there are many other ways to interpret this if you want to.
Yes.
So
I agree.
I don't like that take. I understand why that is a take, but I don't like that take. So.
That take does not track, and so I understand why they say it because they're Christians and they have to, but it's stupid and ignorant.
I think that's...
Get your Bible straight, guys.
Yeah, right.
So I think you and I both agree that the most likely thing is that Ezekiel did not know that the line of David was
I think that's
done.
the most likely, yeah.
And the second one would be that they use the word David in reference to the coming Messiah, which has yet to come. The Jews today in 2024 still believe at some point is coming.
Right.
So, and either of those I think are acceptable because that makes sense.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Right.
Not just in a stupid apologist way either. Like in reading the text, either of those make sense with the text.
Well, I'm going to say one more thing, and that's that if we are going to pretend that the line of David continues through Jesus or the next Jewish Messiah, right, that would mean that all of the prophets that are speaking this way understand that there is still someone that is holding to the David line somewhere out there.
Right.
Right. So if Ezekiel understood that to be the case, then he would also maybe understand that the next king of Judah or Israel would end up being someone from the David line.
Right.
Right. Whoever that may be. But I don't think that he was referencing this as a far out type of an idea.
No, I totally agree with you because their prophecies usually were within the next
Yeah, they were very recent.
Years.
They were very close history is what these prophecies were usually referencing.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our final question came from chapter 35.
Okay.
And so I'm going to read these 2 verses, 1 and 2.
Sure.
The word of the Lord came to me, son of man.
You mere human.
You fucking worm. Set your face against Mount Seir. Prophecy against it. And we were like, what's a Mount Seir?
And why are they mentioning Mount Seir, as opposed to Edom?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That was a question I definitely had.
I didn't find a reason for them saying Edom as opposed to Mount Seir. It's just a stylistic choice of the author, which you and I both said indicates that there were multiple authors of this particular chapter, if not the whole book.
Correct.
So I didn't find anything on that. However, I did find a little bit just about Mount Seir itself.
Okay. All right.
So on the eastern side of the Jordan River, Mount Seir was a center of the Edomites, the descendants of Jacob's brother Esau. And Edom is symbolized here by its distinctive landmark, Mount Seir. So that could be a reason why somebody would refer to it that way, because Mount Seir was how some people referred to Edom.
Got it. Okay. That makes some sense.
I think I can understand why somebody would refer to it that way. I can't understand why Ezekiel would refer to it both ways. So I, again, think that
different writers.
Yes, at least 2 separate writers, and they referred to Edom and Mount Seir separately as the same thing, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I got it. I got it.
Mount Seir is the ancient and biblical name for a mountainous region stretching between the Dead Sea and the Gulf of Aqaba in the northwestern region of Edom and the southeast of the Kingdom of Judah.
Okay. All right. Yep.
It may also have marked the older historical limit of ancient Egypt and Canaan.
Got it.
So that whole area was either Seir or Mount Seir.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mount Seir was named for Seir the Horite, whose offspring, the Horites, had previously inhabited the area according to the book of Genesis. So we have heard of Mount Seir before.
Yeah, I definitely remember talking about the Horites.
I do not remember Mount Seir being mentioned, though.
I don't either, but I mean, that doesn't mean it wasn't there. I don't remember everything that we've read for sure.
Yeah.
And I think my biggest issue with this whole bit is that we had talked about in Ezekiel already. We had talked about the Edomites, and in fact, in we just referenced them. I think in chapter 32 when they were talking about the Edomites were going to be buried with the Pharaoh and all that, right?
Yeah.
So we definitely know that they're the Edomites there. So, and when we are saying Mount Seir, we have to do one of 2 things. We have to either accept the fact that somebody else wrote it, or that this section in particular was on purpose being more poetic than another section and more symbolic than another section to reference something else with regard to his writing.
Yeah.
But either way, it is definitely outside of how it is normally referenced.
Correct.
With regard to the Edomites.
Yes, so, I agree. So I'm just going to go through a couple of other places where Mount Seir was mentioned.
Sure.
The children of Esau, the Edomites, battled against the Horites and destroyed them in the book of Deuteronomy.
Okay.
Mount Seir is specifically noted as the place where Esau made his home.
Okay.
And then in the book of Numbers, the prophet Balaam, predicting Israelite victories over the Transjordanian nations at the end of their exodus from Egypt, stated, Edom shall be a possession. Seir also, his enemies, shall be a possession.
Okay.
So, and Balaam being, of course, that...
The one that had the talking donkey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Mount Seir is also given as the location where the remnants of the Amalekites that had escaped were annihilated by 500 Simonites, according to First Chronicles.
Okay.
Which I do not remember at all.
I don't recall that either.
And then in Second Chronicles, the inhabitants of Mount Seir, the Edomites, came along with the Ammonites and Moabites against Jehoshaphat of Judah. However, quote, the Lord set ambushments against them, causing their forces to annihilate one another.
Got it.
And then Mount Seir is referenced in the prophetic books is Isaiah and Ezekiel as a term for Edom.
Sure.
So this is just the first time we've caught it.
Well, it didn't, like, I do remember saying Seir at some point, but I didn't remember, like, I don't know that I put Edom and Seir together. Right. Like, that wasn't a thing that I had correlated until now. And if I did, it was only just in the moment when we talked about it the last time. So I'll probably forget this again, honestly.
Oh, sure.
But because it's not in the grand scheme of talking about what the Bible is, the enemies of Israel and Judah are not really overly important to the overarching storyline. Like, we're more concerned about what God's direction for these people, his people, is, and not so much the enemies. So, like, it doesn't...
Right.
Relevancy is part of the problem as to why I don't remember some of this stuff, too.
Exactly. So there were a couple of controversies with regard to Mount Seir. Okay. First of all is its current day geography. Okay. Currently, I found two different definitive statements as to where it's located today, and both did not present it as some people believe.
Okay.
Both references were like, it is here.
Got it.
And they were factual. And I was like, wait, am I crazy, or are those two different things? And I had to check it, make sure, because I'm not familiar with the geography, right?
But they were referencing two different things?
Two different things, okay? So here's the first sentence, okay? Currently, this former territory of Edom is controlled by Jordan, okay?
Okay.
And near the border with Saudi Arabia.
Got it.
The other sentence says it is the territory of Edom is located in Syria.
Okay.
But I was like, hold on, but are Syria and Jordan, those are separate, right? They are. They're separate.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I had to check that because my American ignorance, I'm not familiar with that area at all. And I was like, well, maybe Syria's in Jordan, or maybe Jordan's in Syria. I don't fucking know.
Sure.
Maybe one's a little place and the other, like, maybe one's a city and one's a larger territory.
Right.
Like, I do not know the setup. So I had to check, and they are like right next to each other, but they are two separate areas.
Got it. Okay.
So it's in one or the other, somewhere around Saudi Arabia.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that was the first controversy about Mount Seir. Here's another interesting take on it. There are some Christian, quote unquote, scholars who are trying to put forward the idea that Mount Seir is synonymous with Mount Sinai.
Okay. All right.
And that, Mount Sinai is the one where Moses climbed up, right? Or
oh, wow. Now you got me on the spot here. I don't know I don't know what mountain he climbed up right off
because
the top
that feels wrong, and I didn't write it down because I wasn't sure I was going to say it or not.
Right. Yeah. No, I get you. So I'm doing a quick search just to see.
Mount Sinai.
It is Mount Sinai. So
okay, and Mount Sinai is also called Mount Horeb, which we have covered in the past.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, some people are saying that Mount Seir is the same thing as Mount Sinai, and then others are like, no, Mount Seir is just one of the peaks of the range of Mount Sinai, the range.
Okay,
and then. The rest are like, the fuck are you talking about? It's not even the same. You dummy.
Yeah.
So there's like this whole, like, we can't even tell you what the fuck Mount Seir is, much less where it's located.
Yeah.
So
there were, in the general searching I was doing, they were saying that there might be like a northern mountain that might have been referred to as Mount Seir at one point, but it's not as prominent as far as like what is referenced with regard to this section of the Bible of the southern range, which is the Seir Mountains, essentially.
Well, and then there's also the fact that these people lived on like flat grounds. Yeah. And what did they consider a mountain?
That's a good point. Yeah, it could have just been a really big fucking hill.
I mean, I would think of a large hill as a small mountain.
Sure.
I would.
Yeah.
But that may not even exist today.
That's very true.
2,000 plus years.
They might have just called, the Mount Everest, fuck you, like.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, if I came to that and we were trying to go through, I'd be like, nope, fuck you. That'd be my reaction.
Yep. Same.
We're turning back, guys. Sorry. Yep. All right, you got any other questions or answers for us?
That was my Q&A for today, not Saturday.
Okay, well, so that does it for this episode. We, I think, are going to still try to do maybe a Patreon today.
We're going to try to squeeze one out.
Whew. So we got that still coming up later today, hopefully. And then I will get the weekly wrap-up out. And then we will be back on Monday with
Ezekiel chapter 36.
All right, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe, leave an Apple review, join us on Twitter, support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.